Chapter 435. In the simple yet elegant room, the man seemed to have heard the commotion outside. He frowned slightly, and a cold light flashed across his black eyes. At this moment, the young girl's devilish voice reached his ears, causing his brows to gradually calm down. "Ignore them. Let's continue." "All right." The two of them hugged each other tightly. They kissed from the wall to the bed. Suddenly, the whole room was filled with an ambiguous atmosphere. The next day, the morning sun rose. There were many people gathered at the back mountain of the Shao clan. Wei Lianqing saw a handsome man and a beautiful woman walking over with a single glance. His eyes were filled with admiration. "You guys are here?" Yin Luofeng nodded slightly. "Have all the members of the Shao family with pure bloodline power arrived? Little Yin, are you planning to let him enter the mystic realm?" Wei Lianqing's eyes were filled with astonishment. "I heard that only those below the celestial spirit stage can enter the Shao family's secret realm. For what I see, Yin Zhao's strength seems to have reached the celestial spirit stage long ago, or even higher. Am I right?" Yin Zhao glanced coldly at Wei Lianqing and replied coldly, "I can control my aura to be below that of a celestial spirit one." In other words, the taboo of the Shao clan's secret realm could not trouble him at all. Hee. Wei Lianqing chuckled awkwardly. "That's good. It's just that you won't be able to come out for a while after entering this mystic realm." Yin Zhao fell silent. After a while, he turned to look at Yin Luofeng. "Return to the Yin family and wait for me." Only when she returned to the Yin family would he be able to enter this secret realm with peace of mind. "All right, I'll wait for you at the Yin clan." Her purpose of coming here was to find Yin Zhao. Now that she had found Yin Zhao, it was time for her to go back. However, she originally thought that she would need at least half a year to come to Spirit Realm. She didn't think that she would finish everything in just a few months. This trip was unbelievably smooth. Yin Zhao took one last look at Yin Luofeng. His callous gaze swept across the Shao family members whom he had specially left behind. He said coldly, "All of you, go and open the Shao family's secret territory now." Only the people of the Shao clan could enter the Shao clan's secret realm. Moreover, their strength couldn't surpass that of a heavenly spirit realm expert. Fortunately, Yin Zhao was able to control her aura and successfully deceive the secret realm. Now, he could only protect her if he had enough power. "Miss Yin," Lin Jingfeng smiled. "I'll leave my daughter to you. Please teach her well. She's too mischievous. She doesn't know any better, so please take her away." However, in Lin Jingfeng's heart, his daughter would always be his precious darling. She was more important than his life. "Then let's go now," Yin Luofeng said after a slight pause. "Yes, master." Lin Ruobai grinned as he walked to Yin Luofeng's side. His slightly blinking eyes shone with a bright light. "Master, are we going back to your hometown? Is it fun there? You'll know when you get there." Yin Luofeng did not say anything more. She retracted her longing gaze from Yin Zhao, and her lips curled into a lazy smile. "It's getting late. Let's go." Once she had finished speaking, she did not spare Yin Zhao another glance as she walked down the mountain on her own. At this moment, Yin Luofeng could clearly feel a gaze following her from behind until she left this place. Chapter 436. Long Yuan Country. Outside the gate of the general's mansion, a group of people dressed in white robes blocked the entrance. They surrounded it so tightly that not even a drop of water could trickle through. The pedestrians on the street did not know what was going on. They kept pointing at the group of white-robed people and casting curious gazes at them. "Yin Xingya, get the hell out here!" The leading white-robed old man shouted loudly. His voice was like a clap of thunder, shaking the entire Yun family. Not long after, a group of people walked out of the Yun family. Amongst the group of people, the one at the front was the Yun family's old man, Yin Luo. His old face was solemn, his brows were tightly knitted, and a cold light shone in his sharp eyes. The cold and indifferent Yin Xingya followed beside the old man. His face was handsome and elegant like a chrysanthemum. His eyes were as clear as a spring, but at this moment, they gradually carried a hint of coldness. Lu Yin, The people of your medical city are actually so untrustworthy. You've already agreed to the 3-year agreement, yet you came knocking on our door at such a time. Aren't you afraid of losing your reputation?" The old man's chest was filled with anger. He glared fiercely at the old man in front of him and asked while gnashing his teeth. "He." Lu Yin sneered disdainfully. "Yun Luo, as long as you hand over the Yun Qingyao beside you, I will let you live. Otherwise, today will be the day your Yun family is destroyed." The old man was so angry that his entire body was trembling. This Lu Yin was only making a comeback because Elder Ning and Elder Rong had both left Long Yuan country. Back then, when Lu Yin left Long Yuan country, he never thought that this old fellow would be so untrustworthy. "If you want me to hand over my son, I'll have to die here." The old man took 2 steps forward, standing firmly on the ground like Mount Tai. "Yin Luo, do you think that with the Ning family's medical pavilion supporting you, you can do whatever you want? Let me tell you, the medical pavilion's position in our doctor association is not very high. If it wasn't for the fact that we're from the same faction, I wouldn't have let you off that day." Lu Yin's eyes narrowed slightly as a sneer appeared on his lips. "Now, I'll only give you one chance. Hand over Yun Xingya, and I'll spare your life." "Bah!" The old man spat a mouthful of phlegm on Lu Yin's body. "I'm not a coward. You want me to back down? Dream on." Lu Yin was so angry that his whole body was trembling. He never thought that Master Dongfang would spit at him, so he had not taken any precautions. Only when the thick spittle landed on his body did he react. His elderly features turned ashen as he roared angrily. "Yun Lu, you're looking for death." Boom! His fist brought with it a fierce wind, attacking the old man. The members of the Steel Flame Legion drew their weapons and prepared to deal with Lu Yinbang. Suddenly, a gray figure swept over from the top of the wall and quickly stood in front of the old man, his palm meeting Lu Yin's attack. After a loud bang, the gray figure retreated a few steps. Qin Yuan waved his numb arm and smiled bitterly. The Yin family really knew how to provoke enemies. Ordinary enemies were fine, but now there was even a celestial spirit realm expert. He had only just broken through to the heavenly spirit realm, so he was afraid that his heart would not be strong enough to face these people. But no matter what, he had promised Yun Luofeng that he would protect the safety of a Yun family. Heavenly spirit realm. Lu Yin was also a little surprised. He looked at Qin Yuan and his gaze darkened. "Yun Luo, no wonder you dare to challenge me. So your Yun family actually has the protection of a heavenly spirit realm expert. However, this guy broke through to the heavenly spirit realm not long ago. He's no match for me at all." Chapter 437. At this moment, the old man was also confused. He rubbed his head and glanced at Qin Yuan doubtfully. Wasn't this man the one who often appeared by Yin Zhao's side? He seemed to be Yin Zhao's subordinate. Especially during this period of time, he had taken great care of the Yun family. He was also very humble and often helped the Yun family. But from what Lu Yin said, Qin Yuan was also a heavenly spirit realm expert. The old man was shocked. If Qin Yuan was a heavenly spirit realm expert, then how powerful was Yun Xiao? "All of you leave this place first." Qin Yuan's expression became more and more serious. "Leave this place and find my master and Miss Yun. Only they can protect you." But old Master Yun was stunned. He couldn't bring himself to abandon Qin Yuan and escape on his own. "I promised Miss Yun that I would protect the Yun family, so I would rather die here than let anyone touch you. However, I can't hold them off for too long. Hurry up and leave. The further the better. Don't come back." His gray clothes seemed extremely firm in the breeze. The man's eyes were filled with the determination to face death as he coldly looked at the people of the medical city in front of him. "No way." Old man Yun's domineering aura was fully displayed as he said coldly, "There are no deserters on the battlefield. This is not a battlefield." Qin Yuan was a little anxious. "To me, any battle is a battlefield. On the battlefield, there is no reason for the general to abandon his troops and flee. If this general really runs away, then my dignity will be completely lost. My reputation will be ruined. As a general, Old Man Yun accepted the principle that he would rather die in battle than admit defeat to the enemy. From his point of view, if he abandoned Qin Yuan and ran away, what was the difference between him and a deserter? As long as he was alive, he would never allow anyone to step into the Yun family. Father. Yun Qingya's eyes contained a cold light, but her lips curled into a bitter smile. I'm sorry, I've implicated you. The man's apologetic voice caused Old Man Yun's heart to tremble. He turned his head to look at that handsome face, raised his hand, and gently patted him on the shoulder. There are no cowards in my Yun family. Feng'er's parents died on the battlefield, and he was fearless in the face of danger. Feng'er also inherited her parents' personality and would rather die than submit. So, I don't think you did anything wrong. Do you want my son to be afraid of death and submit to the threat of the enemy? The old man paused for a moment before continuing. No. If you had admitted defeat on the arena back then because of the opponent's identity, and if you had allowed them to bully you without retaliating, then you wouldn't be my son. My son is not a coward. Every member of the Yun family was a hero. Never give in, never retreat. He would never submit to his enemy for the sake of survival. Qingya, your father's good son. I'm already very satisfied to have you and Yun Yang as my sons, as well as Feng'er as my granddaughter. I have no more regrets. Besides, I believe that with your niece's ability, she'll avenge us one day. What was there to fear about death? To Yin Luo, death wasn't scary. What was scary was a heart that became weak in the face of death. Ha ha! Yin Luo burst into laughter and turned to look at Luyin. A mocking smile hung on his aged face. Luyin, if you want to kill me, then kill me. You want me to hand over my son in order to live? Let me tell you, it's impossible even in my next life. How can I, Yin Luo, be a coward who is afraid of death? As a man, I can never abandon my family. Chapter 438. Qin Yuan looked at Yin Luo with a complicated expression. Towards this old general who had fought on the battlefield for many years, there was nothing but admiration in his heart. With such a heroic, courageous, and resourceful old man, it was no wonder that he was able to stay on the battlefield for so many years. It was a pity that the previous emperor of Long Yuan country had eyes, but failed to see. Otherwise, he wouldn't have ended up in such a miserable state. Father. Yin Qingya smiled faintly. His smile was elegant and moving, as if a hand was gently stirring up the other party's heart. I understand. No matter what, I will not regret what I did back then. Just as his father had said, there were no cowards in the Yun family. Even if he had to live a dark life for 10 years because of what happened back then, he would not regret it. Humph! Lu Yin coldly snorted, a mocking smile appearing on his face. Yin Qingya, even now, you are still so stubborn. There are some things that you can't shake. The strength of our medical city is too strong, to the point of being unimaginable. As for our family's young master, he is even more noble and beautiful. If he wants to compete with you, you should let him beat you up. You shouldn't fight back. At this point, he paused for a moment before continuing. Unfortunately, after more than 10 years, you still haven't understood this principle. On the continent, it's useless to have hard bones. You have to have hard fists to stand firm. Boom! Just as Luyin finished speaking, his body suddenly moved, and he quickly rushed towards Yun Qingya. Be careful. Qin Yuan's expression changed drastically. He hurriedly appeared in front of Yun Qingya and activated a shield. However, he had only broken through to the heavenly spirit realm not long ago. So how could he compare to Lu Chun? With a boom, a punch landed on the shield. The invisible shield immediately shattered, turning into specks of light that scattered into the air. Pucci! At the same time, Qin Yuan's body was also sent flying, heavily smashing into the wall. Blood continuously flowed out of his mouth. Yin Qingya, go to hell. Lu Yin's speed was too fast, so fast that other than Qin Yuan, no one else could react in time. Qingya. He wanted to rush in front of Yin Qingya, but the other party's attack had already landed. He had no time to block this attack for his beloved son. He could only watch in despair as the old man's fist landed on Yin Qingya. In the face of this sudden attack, Yin Qingya's expression did not change at all. Under this powerful pressure, even his expression did not change in the slightest. He stood firm in the old man's pressure, his posture straight. Father is right. There are no cowards among the sons of the Yun family. Even if he had to die, he would die standing. He would never yield to the enemy. Pucci. Suddenly, a beautiful figure floated over from somewhere and steadily landed in front of Yun Qingya. The girl opened her mouth and spat out a mouthful of blood. Her beautiful face instantly turned pale, and her beautiful hair slowly fell down, fluttering in front of Yun Qingya. Yun Qingya's pupils suddenly constricted as she stared blankly at the young girl in front of her. Her eyes were filled with astonishment. Only when the young girl's body tilted to the ground did he react. He quickly took 2 steps forward and caught her soft and delicate body. "Why did you save me?" Ever since Elder Ning left a while ago, this young girl had stayed in the Yun family. She said that she was waiting for Yun Luofeng to return, but she had always been wandering in front of him. However, Yun Qingya did not have much feelings for this young girl who was 10 years younger than her. She only treated her like a little sister. He did not expect that she would rush out at this moment and block Lu Yin's attack for him. Chapter 439. Ning Xian slightly closed her eyes. Her 2 fan-like eyelashes gently trembled. Her breathing was very weak, so weak that it seemed like it could disappear at any moment. "Because I admire you very much." After a while, the young girl opened her eyes. Her eyes, which seemed to be able to speak, quietly stared at the man in front of her. A weak smile appeared on her beautiful face. Yun Qingya's heart trembled. Her arms involuntarily hugged the young girl's body tightly. "Big brother Yun, I admire you not because of your talent. In this life, I have seen many geniuses, and there are many in the Ning family. However, after hearing about your deeds, I was deeply fascinated by you." The young girl's voice was weak, but her tone was filled with unquestionable determination. "I admire your strength of character, and I am infatuated with your courage to not fear power, to not lower your head, even in death. You clearly know the identity of the other party, but you are still unwilling to put down your dignity and pride on the stage." "So," the young girl paused for a moment before continuing, "for you, I am willing." The young girl's words made Yun Qingya's heart tremble even more. He tightened his grip on her, and his cold eyes were filled with determination. "Don't worry, little Fenger will be back very soon. When she comes back, you'll be fine." Ning Xian smiled bitterly and shook her head. "Brother Yun, I'm afraid I won't be able to wait until then. After Fenger returns, you will bid farewell to her on my behalf. In this life, I don't have many friends, and she is the only one. In a power like the Ning family, even though there were many noble daughters who wanted to befriend her, those people were only doing so for the sake of the Ning family. Only Yun Luofeng, in the eyes of that young girl, did not have nobility or lowliness, only whether he was worthy of her friendship or not. Therefore, only in front of Yun Luofeng would she open her heart without reservation." Hearing the young girl's increasingly weak voice, Yun Qingya's heart surged with monstrous anger. Her clear eyes coldly looked at the people of the medical city. "If anything happens to Ning Xian, one day I will destroy your entire medical city." His voice was filled with earth-shattering rage. His crescent robe fluttered in the breeze. "Elder Lu Yin, what should we do? That last Ning Xian is seriously injured. If word gets back to the Ning family, old man Ning will go crazy." Behind him, a white-robed man came out and said worriedly. They had only come to deal with the general's mansion. Who would have thought that Ning Xian would also be in the Yun family? She even risked her life for Yun Qingya. Knowing Elder Ning's protective nature, if he were to find out that Ning Xian had been accidentally injured in the medical city, he would definitely fly into a rage, especially since it seemed like Ning Xian was not going to make it. "Quick!" Lord Yun was the first to react. He hurriedly said, "Qingya, quickly take her to the medical pavilion. There are quite a few doctors there, so they might have a way to control her injuries. As long as we wait for Fenger to return, there will be no problems." Yun Qingya suddenly came back to his senses. Without saying a word, he quickly carried Ning Xin and rushed towards the other side of the street. Perhaps he was too anxious, but his speed was as fast as the wind. Elder Lu Yin. The white-robed man looked in the direction that Yun Qingya had left in. He opened his mouth, wanting to say something, but was interrupted by Lu Yin's voice. Let's return to the Medicine City and discuss with the city lord how to deal with the Ning family's old man's anger. Chapter 440. But this Yun Qingya, the white-robed man frowned. Were they going to return empty-handed this time? It's useless for him to go to the medical pavilion. Only I know the power I used just now. Even the pavilion master of the medical pavilion might not be able to save her, Lu Yin said coldly. Now let's rush back to the medical city and discuss this with the city lord. As for the Yun family, we can only let them live for a few more days. The little girl of the Ning family was already heavily injured, but this was unintentionally caused by him. He hoped that the Ning family would be more reasonable and reconcile with the medical city. However, if he stopped Yun Qingya from bringing Ning Xin to the medical pavilion, then the nature of the matter would be different. At that time, even if he explained that he had no intention of hurting her, no one in the Ning family would listen to him. If I knew that the little girl of the Ning family was here and protected Yun Qingya with my life, I wouldn't have come to the Yun family at this time. Lu Yin was very vexed in his heart. He gritted his teeth and said, "Let's retreat." Ning family. When they heard that Ning Xin had been injured outside, the entire Ning family was in an uproar. Everyone gathered together with ugly expressions on their faces. The people of the medical city are so bold. They actually dared to injure our little girl, Ning Xin. Patriarch, we can't let this matter rest like this. We have to go to the medical city and settle the score with them. The person who said this was the great elder of the Ning family. His face was ashen as he spoke angrily. Patriarch, why did the people of the medical city injure Ning Xin? There must be an inside story behind this. I heard that the old master had left Ning Xin alone in Long Yuan country, and no one knows where he went. This time, Ning Xin was injured because she was protecting the son of a general. I really don't know what the old master was thinking to actually allow Ning Xin to interact with those ordinary people. No, we have to bring Ning Xin back. Ning Xin is seriously injured now. If we don't hurry up and treat her, she might not be able to be saved. The crowd began to discuss amongst themselves. Their words were filled with anger towards the medical city and disdain towards the Yun family. Enough. The middle-aged man, who was sitting at the head of the table, slammed his palm down. His handsome face was cold and detached. Old master must have his reasons for leaving Xin heir in Long Yuan nation. Furthermore, the granddaughter of the Long Yuan country's general is the savior of the old master. Furthermore, she has a good relationship with Xin heir. If the two of you were to talk about the general's mansion like this, and the old master heard about it, he would definitely be furious. I don't believe that a young lady from the general's mansion would be able to cure the old master's illness. Perhaps the old master just doesn't want us to worry about him and made up an excuse. An elderly man frowned. Master, we really can't stop worrying about Ning Xin. Please allow me to bring some men to bring Ning Xin back to the Ning family for treatment. With the strength of my Ning clan, recruiting doctors from all over the world is not a problem. The middle-aged man closed his eyes in agony. When he found out that his daughter was injured, no one was more worried than he was. He wished he could fly to Long Yuan country immediately. However, the old master was not at home, and he needed someone to take charge of the situation. All right, the middle-aged man opened his eyes. I'll allow you to bring some men to bring Xin heir back to the Ning family immediately. However, you need to be polite to the general's mansion. Do not be too rude. Otherwise, if the old master were to get angry, no one would be able to stop him. Yes, master. The elderly man cupped his fists, his voice filled with respect, but his face showed a hint of disapproval. Chapter 441. In the quiet back hall of the medical pavilion, Fanya wiped the sweat off her forehead and slowly stood up from the bedside. Her face was filled with fatigue as she turned to look at the nervous Yun Qingya behind her. How is it? Yun Qingya's heart tightened. His tightly clenched fists were covered in sweat. His handsome face was filled with anxiety. Fanya shook her head, her face filled with helplessness. Seeing her expression, Yun Xingya felt as if a bolt of lightning had struck his head, causing him to uncontrollably take a few steps back. I've tried my best, but her injuries are too severe. Lu Yin's palm shattered her internal organs. I've used all my strength to maintain her life for 10 days. If Yin Luofeng still hasn't returned in 10 days, I'm afraid she really won't be able to be saved. 10 days. Yun Xingya's gaze gradually turned to the young girl on the bed. At this moment, the young girl's face was as pale as paper, as if it would shatter with a single touch. Her lips were devoid of blood, and her tightly furrowed brows revealed the pain she was enduring. This is all my fault. If it wasn't for me, she wouldn't have suffered such a heavy injury. Yin Xingya's heart ached. He had never thought that at that time, Ning Xin would disregard her life to protect him. This kind of friendship was something that he would never be able to repay, even if he used up his entire life. When will Yin Luofeng return? Fanya frowned slightly, a hint of worry appearing on her seductive face. When Elder Ning left Long Yuan, he had asked the medical pavilion to take care of Ning Xin. Who knew that such a thing would happen? Just as the two old men left, the people from the medical city arrived. Yin Xingya shook his head with a bitter smile. His fingers gently caressed the girl's tender skin on the bed. Xiao Fenger has already been gone for a few months. No one knows when she will return. Maybe Xiao Xin won't be able to wait for her to return. Fanya opened her mouth, wanting to say something, but at this moment, a servant in the medical pavilion hurriedly lifted the curtain and walked in. He said respectfully, "Miss Fanya, the people from the Ning family are here." Ning family? Hearing this, Fanya frowned slightly. Who is the person from the Ning family? Miss Fanya, that old man claims to be the fourth elder of the Ning family. He's here to bring Miss Ning Xin home. The servant's words caused Yun Qingya's heart to tremble. He hurriedly held Ning Xin's hand, his cold eyes filled with determination. No, I can't let Xiao Xin go. I want to wait for Xiao Fenger to come back. If Ning Xin returned to the Ning family, only death awaited her. If she waited here for Yin Luofeng, perhaps she would have a chance. He would not allow the Ning family to take Ning Xin away. Humph, I'd like to see what kind of strength you have to keep Ning Xin here. Suddenly, a cold snort came from outside the curtain. When Yun Xingya turned to look, she saw an old man in a long robe leading a group of people into the back hall. The old man's aura was imposing, and his indifferent eyes revealed a trace of imperceptible arrogance. His navy blue robe made his aged body seem extremely long, and he was like a sharp sword that could kill without leaving a trace. In particular, there was a faint trace of hostility in his gaze as he looked at Yun Xingya. You can't take Ning Xin away. Seeing the person who had arrived, Yun Xingya's gaze gradually darkened. He clenched his fists tighter and tighter, and his cold voice was filled with determination. Haha. The old man sneered. Then I want to see if you can stop me. Someone, take the young miss away. Chapter 442. Yun Xingya's expression changed as she clenched her fists tightly. She quickly stepped forward, wanting to stop those people, but at this moment, Fanya stretched out a hand and stopped him. Elder Ning. Fanya frowned slightly, her seductive face filled with seriousness. Her fox-like eyes turned towards the Ning family and asked, if you insist on taking Ning Xin away now, she might die. Is this the result that your Ning family wants? The fourth elder snorted coldly, his eyes filled with disdain. Just because your medical pavilion can't cure the symptoms doesn't mean that other doctors are helpless. Only when Ning Xin returns to the Ning family will she receive the best treatment. Fanya's eyes darkened. She took a deep breath and said, Elder Ning, you're not a doctor and you don't know much about medicine. I've just examined Ning Xin's condition, and I can tell you that there are only two people in this world who can save her. One is the godly Dr. Tianya, and the other is the Yun family's Yin Luofeng. Godly Dr. Tianya has always been elusive, and it is extremely difficult to find him. Therefore, we can only let Ning Xin stay here. When Yin Luofeng returns home, she will be safe. Even at this time, Fang Yi still wanted to persuade the Ning family to keep Ning Xin. However, after hearing her words, the fourth elder scoffed and curled his lips in ridicule. Yin Luofeng? I've never heard her name before. How dare a granddaughter of a general be compared to the godly Dr. Tianya? Elder Ning. Yin Luofeng cured Elder Ning's illness. Do you think she has the qualifications to be compared to the godly Dr. Tianya? Fang Ye's brows furrowed tighter and tighter, a hint of impatience gradually appearing on her face. The people of the Ning family were really stubborn. If Elder Rome was here, they wouldn't dare to come to the medical pavilion to snatch people away. Although Elder Rome's status was not as respected as Elder Ning's on the continent, they had known each other since they were young. How could their relationship for so many years change with the change in status? Therefore, the people of the Ning family were very respectful towards Elder Rome. No one dared to act rashly in front of him. Ha ha! Fang Ye's words caused fourth elder to burst into laughter. His laughter was filled with sarcasm. Fang Ye, do you really think that I don't know that Elder Ning's illness is not under control? He must have found an excuse to reassure the Ning family. How could a general's granddaughter have the ability to cure him when so many famous doctors on the continent were helpless? Do you think I'm stupid? You? Fang Ye was so angry that her delicate body trembled and her chest heaved up and down. Let me tell you, it's not just Elder Ning. Our medical pavilion's pavilion master was also cured by Yun family's fallen maple. Furthermore, you all know that Yun Qingya's strength was crippled before. The reason he was able to stand here safe and sound was all thanks to Yin Luofeng. You actually said that her medical skills are not good enough? The fourth elder coldly snorted. How would I know if Yun Qingya's strength has been crippled? Maybe he was just pretending to be seriously injured and had been hiding his strength for so many years. As for the pavilion master of the medical pavilion, his illness had indeed recovered, but you said that it was Yun Luofeng who had cured him, so it was her credit? Who knows if you're making it up or not? In any case, he did not believe that Yun Luofeng's medical skills could be compared to godly Dr. Tianya's. It should be said that the two were not worthy of comparison. How could a 15-year-old girl, born in a place like Longyuan, possess such brilliant medical skills? Chapter 443. Did Fang Ye really think he was stupid? Would he believe her lies? Regardless of whether you believe me or not, I will say the same thing. In this world, other than godly Dr. Tianya, only Yun Luofeng can save Ning Xin. If you forcefully bring her back to the Ning family, can you bear the responsibility if something happens to her? At this moment, Fang Ye's expression was extremely ugly, and her beautiful eyes were filled with a cold light. If she stays here, she will die. The fourth elder waved his hand. Don't worry about these people. Take Ning Xin away immediately. Boom. Just as those people were walking towards the bed, Yun Xingya straightened his body and blocked the bed behind him. His aura surged and his handsome face was suffused with a cold light. None of you are allowed to take her away. His eyes were filled with determination. With a choice that was unafraid of death, he forcefully blocked these people. Beat him up. The fourth elder's gaze darkened as he coldly berated. In an instant, the people from a Ning family rushed towards Yun Xingya, the spiritual energy in their hands attacking the cold and handsome man in front of them. Ever since his injuries had been healed, Yun Xingya's strength had increased by leaps and bounds, and he had even broken through to become a high-level high spiritualist. However, even so, it was difficult for him to fight against four hands with just two fists. Just as he was distracted, his chest was forcefully punched. Poochie! Yun Xingya's footsteps suddenly retreated. Seeing that he was about to collide with the bed behind him, he hurriedly stopped in his tracks. He wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and coldly looked at the Ning family members. I won't let you take her away. Ning Xin had been seriously injured in order to protect him. No matter what, he would protect her well and not let anyone take her away from him. You're courting death. The fourth elder coldly snorted. Then his body moved, and he suddenly charged towards Yun Xingya. The aura on his body was extremely sharp, like a sword shooting out. Stop! Fanya's expression changed drastically. She looked at the fourth elder's actions in fear and hurriedly wanted to go forward to help. However, before she could reach Yun Qingya's side, she was affected by the old man's aura. It was as if a gust of wind had blown past, fiercely blowing her away. Bang! Her soft body fell to the ground. She raised her head and stared angrily at the fourth elder of the Ning family. Hurry up and stop. If anything happens to Yun Qingya, your Ning family will be destroyed one day. Fanya was clearer than anyone else about Yun Luofeng's vengeful personality. Now that her second uncle had been injured by the Ning family, based on her personality, she would never let the Ning family off so easily, even if she was on good terms with old man Ning. However, the girl's growth was too terrifying. In just half a year, she had already reached such a level. Who could stop her in the future? Offending her was no different from offending the devil. Bang! With a punch, Yun Qingya's body was thrown out with a bang. She smashed through the wall and fell into the ruins. His fingers twitched as he tried to get up from the floor, but he felt powerless. He could only watch helplessly as the Ning family carried Ning Xian from the bed. Let her go. Yun Qingya's voice became very hoarse. His fingers tightly pinched the sand in front of him. Just as he opened his mouth, he spat out a mouthful of blood. His handsome face was so pale that it was almost transparent. At this moment, his eyes were filled with anger and despair, and he had never been as powerless as he was today. It was as if his body had been hollowed out. Chapter 444. Fourth Elder, what about that man? The Ning family guard carried Ning Xian by the waist and walked in front of the fourth elder as he asked. The fourth elder paused and said coldly, "Don't worry about him. They won't be able to cause any trouble. Let's hurry back to the Ning family." After saying that, he quickly walked out of the back hall of the medical pavilion without looking back. After the Ning family left, Fanya propped herself up and staggered towards Yun Qingya, who was lying in the ruins. She asked worriedly, "Young Master Yun, how are you?" Yun Qingya did not say anything. His fingers tightly gripped the sand on the ground, his eyes filled with deep pain. "Your injuries are very serious. I'll treat you." Fanya sighed softly. She knew that with her and Yun Qingya's strength, they would not be able to stop these people from the Ning family. Now, they could only let them take Ning Xian away. Yun Qingya's expression was somewhat sluggish as he allowed Fanya to help him up and walk towards the bed. At this moment, he looked like a person who had lost his soul. His eyes were unfocused. "Someone come." Fanya's gaze darkened as she ordered, "Go to the Yun family and invite the Yun family's old man over. Tell him something has happened to Yun Qingya." Standing outside the Yun family's gate, Yun Luofeng stopped in her tracks. She looked at the panicked servants in the Yun family's courtyard and couldn't help but frown. Could it be that something had happened to the Yun family while she was away? Just as Yun Luofeng was about to step through the door, he bumped into a familiar figure. That person had clearly noticed Yun Luofeng at the door as well, and his eyes were filled with surprise. "Mistress, you're back? Where's my master?" Qin Yuan's face was filled with excitement. However, when he saw that there was only a little girl following beside Yun Luofeng and that cold figure was nowhere to be seen, he couldn't help but be stunned. The matter with the Shao family has been resolved. He still has some other things to do there. All right, what happened to the Yun family? Why are all of you so flustered? Yun Luofeng frowned and asked. Hearing Yun Luofeng's question, the excited smile on Qin Yuan's face gradually disappeared. He carefully glanced at the young girl in front of him and said, "Mistress, young Master Qingya is injured and is currently being treated in the medical pavilion." The young girl's face suddenly darkened, her pitch-black pupils seemingly boundless. Qin Yuan immediately became nervous. He explained anxiously, "Mistress, this matter is my fault. I did not protect young Master Qingya properly, causing him to be injured. No matter how Mistress punishes me, I, Qin Yuan, will accept it." At this point, Qin Yuan's eyes were filled with guilt. Before Yun Luofeng left Long Yuan country, he had promised her that he would take good care of the Yun family. However, Ning Xian was injured first, and then, due to his negligence, even Yun Qingyao was seriously injured. This time, even if he died 10,000 times, he would not be able to absolve himself of the blame. Yin Luofeng didn't reply to Qin Yuan. She didn't even look at him. She silently turned around and walked in the direction of the medical pavilion. Seeing this, Qin Yuan didn't dare to say anything else. He followed the young woman anxiously, and his heart was tightly in his throat the entire way. In the back hall of the medical pavilion, old Master Yin sat in front of the bed. He looked at the man lying on the bed with his eyes wide open and couldn't help but let out a soft sigh. Miss Fanya, I've really troubled you this time. I didn't expect so many things to happen. If I had known, I wouldn't have let Xingya come to the medical pavilion alone. Chapter 445. Fanya forced a smile. There was a trace of worry between her eyebrows, but even more so, there was a sense of guilt that could not be erased. Patriarch Yun, please don't say that. If it wasn't for Yun Luofeng, our pavilion master's illness wouldn't have been cured. But now, your Yun family needs help, and I can't help you at all. But don't worry, I've already sent a pigeon to inform Elder Rong of this matter, and have him help me find Elder Ning's whereabouts. 10 days. Ning Xian only had 10 days. She had to find Elder Ning and Yun Luofeng within these 10 days. Otherwise, Ning Xian's life would be in danger. Miss Fanya, no matter what, I still have to thank you for what you've done for the Yun family. If you hadn't saved him in time, perhaps Qing'a. At this point, old Master Sheng's words stopped abruptly. However, the meaning he wanted to express was already very obvious. He didn't want to experience the pain of a white-haired person sending off a black-haired person a second time. Miss Fanya, Patriarch Yun, the eldest daughter of the Yun family, is here. Suddenly, an excited voice rang out from the front hall. Upon hearing this voice, Yin Luo stood up abruptly with a whoosh as a look of pleasant surprise appeared in his murky eyes. Feng is back. This was great. As long as she came back, both Yin Qingya and Ning Xian would be safe and sound. Just as the old man finished speaking, the curtain was lifted by a hand. Immediately, a young girl dressed in white walked in from the front hall and appeared in the old man's eyes. Beside the young lady was a cute little girl. This little girl was sucking on her finger and looking around curiously with her big eyes. Feng, the old man's throat was a little dry, and tears welled up in his eyes. Yun Luofeng's return had suddenly allowed him to find his backbone. His tightly clenched heart had also slowly calmed down. Even the old man didn't know when Yun Luofeng had become the backbone of the Yun family. It was as if as long as she was here, any difficulty could be easily solved. In this world, there was nothing she couldn't do. We'll talk about other things later. Let me take a look at second uncle's injuries first. With that said, the young girl walked towards the big bed. Her fingers gently touched Yun Qingya's body. After checking the injuries on his body, her heart gradually returned to her stomach. Second uncle has indeed suffered a very serious injury. Fortunately, his life is not in danger. Fanya, I have a pharmacy here. Go and get some medicine for second uncle to use. After Yin Luofeng finished speaking, he took out a green medicinal herb from somewhere. Remember, add this spiritual herb. All right. Fanya took the spiritual herbs that Yin Luofeng handed over and immediately ordered the servants to prepare a pen and paper. Once Yin Luofeng had written down all the herbs he needed, she left the back hall. The entire back hall quieted down because of this. The girl turned to look at the old man and asked in a deep voice, "Tell me, what happened?" The old man laughed bitterly. The people of the medical city did not keep their promise. They gave up on the 3-year agreement and launched an attack on the Yun family. In order to protect your second uncle, Ning Xian suffered a palm strike from Lu Yin and was severely injured. She was on the verge of death. In order to save Ning Xian's life, your second uncle brought him to the medical pavilion. But who would have thought? Not only did the Ning family rush over, they even injured your second uncle. Chapter 446. Yun Luofeng's eyes darkened bit by bit, his black eyes containing a strong storm. Even the aura on her body had cooled down following the old man's words. Does Elder Ning know about this? She muttered to herself for a while before saying this. The old man shook his head. Elder Ning is not in the Ning family. Fanya has already informed Elder Rong of this matter and asked Elder Rong to invite Elder Ning to uphold justice. Tell Fanya to bring a message to Elder Ning. No matter who the person who injured my second uncle is, I will seek justice for him. The old man opened his mouth, and a bitter smile appeared on his aged face. What about that girl Ning Xian's injuries? As if he had heard Ning Xian's name, Yin Xingya's face finally showed an expression. However, he still did not speak and lay quietly on the bed. Yin Luofeng looked at Yin Xingya. Ning Xian has a good personality. I like her a lot. Moreover, she was injured for second uncle this time, so no matter what, I will not ignore her. After second uncle recovers, I will go to the Ning family to find Ning Xian, and I will bring her back. Really? Old man Yun's eyes lit up. The Ning family will let Ning Xian go? To be honest, the old man liked that beautiful and dignified little girl, Ning Xian, from the bottom of his heart. Moreover, if she hadn't rushed out to block that attack for Yin Xingya back then, the one who was injured might have been Yin Xingya. Because of this, old Master Sheng's fondness for her increased a little. The corners of Yin Luofeng's lips curled up slightly. Don't you think it would be good to have a daughter-in-law like Ning Xian? Second uncle has also reached the age of marrying a wife. I think the two of them are quite suitable. Grandfather, don't worry. No matter what, I will bring your daughter-in-law back. Before Yin Xingya saw the sun again, Yin Luofeng already knew that Ning Xian worshipped and respected Yin Xingya in her heart. Now that she had suffered such a heavy injury for her second uncle, her feelings were very obvious. As for second uncle, perhaps he had only treated Ning Xian as a little sister at the beginning. But now, because of Ning Xian's departure, he had become so distracted. From this, it could be seen that second uncle did not have no feelings for her. Even if second uncle had become like this because he was worried about Ning Xian's injuries, feelings could be slowly nurtured. The most important thing right now was to bring Ning Xian back from the Ning family. Miss Yun, Fanya's charming voice sounded from outside the curtain. She then walked in with a bowl of medicinal soup and carefully placed it on the table. I've already brewed the medicinal soup you wanted. Also, I have one more thing to tell you. Fanya lifted her head and looked at Yin Luofeng. The person who came to the Ning family this time is the fourth elder of the Ning family. He has a son, and because he's old, he's been spoiled rotten by him. Furthermore, his son's talent is not bad. As a result, among the younger generation of the Ning family, besides Ning Xian, his son has the highest status. Yin Luofeng raised his eyebrows. And then? Fanya sighed helplessly. His son has always liked Ning Xian. In his heart, Ning Xian has already become his daughter-in-law. The fourth elder of the Ning family also treats Ning Xian like his daughter-in-law. It's a pity that Ning Xian doesn't like his son. That's why he's so hostile towards Yin Xingya. If it was another elder who came to Long Yuan, it wouldn't be the same. Yin Luofeng's face was expressionless, but the storm in his black eyes was getting stronger and stronger, as if it would explode at any moment. Chapter 447. Fanya, I'll leave my second uncle to you for now. She took a deep breath and suppressed the rage in her heart. She raised her eyes and stared at the seductive woman in front of her. Fanya was stunned when she heard the girl's words. She frowned and said, You plan to go to the Ning family like this? You're not going to wait for Elder Ning to return? No need. Yin Luofeng shook his head. Ning Xian probably won't be able to escape for long. I'll go to the Ning family to treat her injuries first, then I'll settle the score with the fourth elder of the Ning family. She had never imagined that so many things would happen during the time she was away. She would not let off anyone who hurt her family. All right. Fanya thought for a moment and nodded. Leave Yin Xingya to me. I'll take good care of him. Also, you probably don't know where the Ning family is. I'll send someone to send you there. Indeed, as Yin Luofeng had said, Ning Xian wouldn't be able to hold on for long, and Elder Ning was still somewhere unknown. Therefore, she could not stop Yin Luofeng's choice. She could only hope that Elder Roan could quickly find out Elder Ning's whereabouts so that this girl wouldn't suffer a loss in the Ning family. Perhaps sensing Fang Ye's worry, Yin Luofeng's black eyes gradually calmed down. Don't worry, Yin Luofeng, will eat anything, but I won't lose out. After saying this, she turned to look at the old man with sincerity in her eyes. Grandfather, wait for me here. I'll bring your daughter-in-law back. The old man opened his mouth, his eyes filled with worry. Should I go with you? How could he be at ease letting his granddaughter enter the tiger's den alone? The Yin family needs someone to take charge. Yin Luofeng looked at the old man's worried expression solemnly. So, you must stay here. Hearing this, the old man laughed bitterly and sighed helplessly. All right, then come back early. I'll wait for you to bring my future daughter-in-law back. Yun Luofeng looked at Yun Qingya, who was lying on the bed, and lowered his eyes to hide the raging anger in them. Xiaobai, let's go. Oh, Lin Ruobai blinked her eyes cutely. Master, do you want to ask my father for help? Yun Luofeng shook his head. It's too far. There's no time. Ning Xian's injuries couldn't be delayed any longer. If she returned to Spirit Realm and asked the Spirit God for help, Ning Xian would probably die from her injuries before she returned. Wait. Just as Yin Luofeng turned to leave, an anxious voice came from behind him. She saw that the man who had been lying on the bed with lifeless eyes had somehow forced himself to stand up. His hands were tightly pressed against the edge of the bed as a beautiful smile bloomed on his handsome, pale face. The man's smile was like a lotus, so beautiful that it could move one's soul. I'll go with you. Yin Luofeng was startled. He frowned slightly. Your injuries, I'm fine. Yin Qingya shook her head slightly and smiled weakly. Little Fenger, Xiao Xian was injured because of me, and you're planning to go to the Ning family because of me. How can I retreat at a time like this? I wasn't able to protect her before. Now, I will personally bring her to the Yun family. He was a man, and as a man, he had to have a strong spirit, instead of hiding behind his niece. Looking at Yun Qingya's determined expression, Yin Luofeng pondered for a moment, then nodded and said, Drink the medicine and immediately set off with me to the Ning family. Chapter 448. In the great hall of the Ning family home, the middle-aged man sat on the highest seat. His brows were furrowed in worry as he asked in a low voice, Has the master not returned yet? Reporting to the master. The great elder walked out and clenched his fists as he replied respectfully, The Ning family is already searching for the old master's whereabouts. However, we don't know where the old master has gone, so we haven't been able to find him yet. Sigh. The middle-aged man sighed, and the worry between his brows deepened. I'm afraid that Exen won't be able to hold on for much longer, but the master has yet to return. Perhaps they won't even be able to see him one last time. He rubbed his forehead with his fingers, and his handsome face was filled with agony. These past few days, he had searched for famous doctors, but they all said that Ning Xian's injuries were too severe. There was nothing they could do to save her. Unless they could find the godly doctor, Tianya. Only then would they be able to come back from the dead and save Ning Xian's life. However, when the master had been gravely ill, they had searched for Tianya for a few years, but had not been able to find him. Now, in just a few short days, where could they go to find him? Forget it, forget it. The middle-aged man waved his hand and exhaled deeply. Great Elder, spread the news that Ning Xian is in a critical condition. If Master Darren hears about it, he will naturally return. Ning Xian only has a few more days to live. Let's not disturb her too much and let her leave in peace. As he spoke, he stood up and walked out of the great hall. In just a few days, the man who was once all-powerful in the Ning family gradually hunched his back. It was as if he had aged several decades in an instant. His hair, which was originally as black as ink, had turned half of it white without anyone noticing. Master! Just as the middle-aged man was about to step over the threshold, a servant hurried in and said respectfully, There's a man and a woman outside the door who wish to see you. The middle-aged man paused in his steps and frowned. Who do you think they are? Master, the two of them claim to be from Long Yuan country. The lady's name is Yun Luofeng, and the other man is Yun Qingya. Gua. Without waiting for the middle-aged man to respond, the fourth elder rose to his feet in the great hall. His gloomy eyes burned with rage. The people from the Yun family actually dared to come, especially that Yun Qingya. If he hadn't provoked the people from the medical city, Ning Xian wouldn't have been injured. He would only have a few days to live. But I didn't expect him to have the guts to come to our door, even though our Ning family didn't settle the score with him. Patriarch, let me go teach this kid a lesson right now. What surprised the fourth elder even more was that although he didn't kill Yun Qingya with his palm, he still used an unknown amount of strength. How would he still come to the Ning clan? Could it be that his injuries had been healed? No, impossible. Only he knew the strength he used. It was impossible for him to recover so quickly. Fourth elder. The middle-aged man frowned slightly. He looked at the furious fourth elder and said indifferently, that Yun Qingya is someone that Xianer risked her life to protect. If you do this, how can you be worthy of Xianer's sacrifice? However, I also want to see what kind of person this Yun Qingya is to be able to make Xianer risk her life to protect him. The fourth elder clenched his fists tightly, his old face gloomy. If he had known that Yun Qingya would still be able to get out of bed, he wouldn't have shown mercy at that time. Someone like him didn't have the qualifications to match up with Ning Xian. Chapter 449. Outside the courtyard, the young girl stood in the wind. Her snow-white dress fluttered in the wind, and she was so beautiful that it was suffocating. Her eyebrows were wild, and her black eyes were deep and evil. Her rather lazy posture was like a beautiful painting, and it was so pleasing to the eye. However, the young lady narrowed her eyes slightly when she saw the members of the Ning clan walking out to welcome her. A dangerous and demonic light flashed in her eyes. Yun Qingya had been standing beside Yun Luofeng the entire time. Her handsome face was no longer as pale as before, but there was still the weakness of someone who had just recovered from a serious illness. Her clear and cold eyes carried a stubborn light, and her straight body stood quietly under the gentle breeze, firm and determined. Only Lin Ruabai, who was at the side, looked as if it had nothing to do with her. She blinked her eyes adorably, and her bright eyes carried an evil light. Is that person in the navy blue robe the fourth elder? Yun Luofeng immediately saw the old man behind the middle-aged man. Due to the anger and hatred on the old man's face, she immediately guessed his identity. Hearing this, Yun Qingyan nodded slightly. It's him. Hearing the man's answer, Yun Luofeng didn't say anything else. She narrowed her eyes and examined the middle-aged man who was walking over quickly as she asked in a deep voice, "Where's Ning Xian?" She went straight to the point and asked about Ning Xian's whereabouts. The middle-aged man was slightly startled and smiled faintly. I believe this must be the granddaughter of the general of Long Yuan country, Lady Yun Luofeng. My father once mentioned you to me, so I've heard of your name for a long time. Where's Ning Xian? The young girl acted as if she didn't hear the middle-aged man's words and continued to ask. The middle-aged man didn't expect Yun Luofeng to be so determined to see Ning Xian and even ignored his words. He couldn't help but feel a little unhappy, and his voice no longer had the friendliness from before. Xian Air is seriously ill in bed. I'm afraid she won't be able to meet any guests. Miss Yun, please go back. As he said this, the middle-aged man's eyes kept glancing at Yun Qingya, sizing her up with a scrutinizing gaze. The more he looked, the more dissatisfied he became. This Yun Qingya's talent was considered not bad in the secular world. For a power like theirs, only the hedonistic young city lord of the medical city would be defeated by him. However, everyone knew that the young governor's talent was not that great. It was only because after the young governor had been born, the governor of the medical city had lost his ability to reproduce. Hence, he had pampered his only child so much, resulting in his lawless character. As for the Ning family, whether it was Ning Xian or fourth elder's grandson, they were both rare geniuses. It was also something a man like Yun Qingya could not compare to. He could treat the guest well for the sake of the old master and Ning Xian, but that did not mean that he could accept this man as his son-in-law. If you want her to die, then stop us from seeing her. If you want her to live, you must bring me to see Ning Xin now." Just as the middle-aged man was examining Yun Qingya, the beautiful girl beside him slowly spoke again. Her unquestionable tone made the middle-aged man's heart tremble. He frowned slightly. "Humph!" The fourth elder coldly snorted and looked at Yun Luofeng with a mocking gaze. His eyes were filled with ridicule. "Little girl, I advise you to be a little more guilty. Do you think that you can call yourself a doctor just by reading a few medical books? Our Ning family has found so many famous doctors to be unable to cure this illness. Do you think that you can cure Ning Xin with your little ability? If it wasn't for the sake of the old head, you would have been thrown out of our Ning family a long time ago, and you still dare to clamor here." Chapter 450. The young girl glanced at the fourth elder evilly. The cold light in her eyes made one's heart tremble uncontrollably. It was as if a knife was placed on their necks, incomparably cold. Scram! Her cold shout exploded in the crowd like a bomb. Her demonic and beautiful face was shrouded in a layer of murderous intent. Whenever she thought of what the fourth elder had done to Yun Qingya, the anger in her heart would surge, and it would be enough to swallow a person in an instant. However, the most important thing now was Ning Xin's injuries. It would not be too late to settle the score with the fourth elder after Ning Xin's condition stabilized. The fourth elder was stunned for a moment before he regained his senses. Suddenly, a cold smile hung on his lips. "Little girl, do you know what you're saying? This is the Ning family. What right do you have to tell me to scram? Who do you think you are? If you still want your life, you'd better leave this place. Otherwise, don't blame me for being impolite." If it was in the past, the middle-aged man would have stopped the fourth elder. However, today, he did not do anything and quietly watched from the sidelines. He wanted to know, in the face of the fourth elder's oppression, how would this girl choose? Leave his place? Or to fight against the fourth elder? After all, even now, he still did not know why his old man would admire such a young girl so much. Therefore, he wanted to test Yun Luofeng's strength through the fourth elder. Yun Luofeng narrowed his eyes slightly, a dangerous light in his eyes that seemed to be smiling, yet not smiling. "You're asking me what right I have to tell you to scram? All right, I'll show you my qualifications now." After saying this, Yun Luofeng took out a dark green jade pendant from his sleeve. The word Ning, engraved on the jade pendant, shone brightly under the sunlight. "This is Father's jade pendant? Why do you have this on your hand?" The middle-aged man, who had been watching coldly from the side, was shocked when he saw Yun Luofeng take out the jade pendant. His eyes were filled with deep astonishment. Father's jade pendant. Why was it in her hands? And this jade pendant was a symbol of power. It meant that she could mobilize the Ning family's power at will. But why would father give a jade pendant to a girl he had never met before? Was this just out of admiration for her? No, it was just admiration. Father would never hand over such a precious thing. There must be some reason he did not know. The middle-aged man's face was filled with annoyance at the thought of this. If he had known that his father would give the jade pendant to her, he would not have remained so indifferent when the fourth elder had made things difficult for him. That's right, this is indeed the family head's jade pendant. The great elder carefully examined the jade pendant in Yun Luofeng's hand and came to this conclusion. Suddenly, the way everyone looked at Yun Luofeng changed. There was no longer any enmity in their eyes. "I don't know if this is enough to make you scram." Yun Luofeng raised his black eyes slightly and turned to look at the ashen-faced fourth elder. The corners of his lips curled into a sinister smile. For a moment, the fourth elder was silent. He opened his mouth as if he wanted to say something, but in the end, he closed it. This girl had the old master's jade pendant in her hands. If he insisted on chasing her away at this time, it would be disrespectful to the old master. "Second uncle, let's go. I'm afraid Ning Xin won't be able to hold on for long." "Second uncle, let's go. I'm afraid Ning Xin won't be able to hold on for long." Yun Luofeng looked at Yun Qingya and said in a low voice. Chapter 451. All right. Yun Qingya nodded slightly. He probably hadn't expected Yun Luofeng to have Elder Ning's jade token. No wonder she was so confident in coming to the Ning family. Seeing that the two of them were about to enter the Ning family, the fourth elder's expression changed. He quickly stepped forward and stopped them. Master, since this Yun Luofeng has come to the Ning family as a guest, we can treat our guests with courtesy. However, I don't think that he would be able to save the little girl Ning Xin based on his own abilities. He might even end up making things worse and speeding up her death. Fourth elder gritted his teeth. So, I think that we cannot let him see the little girl Ning Xin. Yun Luofeng's footsteps paused, and her pitch-black eyes gradually fell on the fourth elder's old face. Her gaze was bright and penetrating, as if she could see through the fourth elder's eyes and see his heart. That penetrating gaze made the fourth elder feel even more afraid, and he couldn't help but take a few steps back. Why do I feel that you don't want me to save Ning Xin? Yun Luofeng took 2 steps towards fourth elder, her body exuding a dangerous aura. Is it because your son likes Ning Xin, but Ning Xin doesn't like your son? Is that why you're so angry and embarrassed that you think that if I can't have her, you can forget about having her? The fourth elder's expression suddenly changed. He could feel the middle-aged man's gloomy gaze and hurriedly defended himself. What nonsense are you spouting? I've treated Ning Xin like my daughter since I was young. I want her to survive more than anyone else. Don't try to sow discord here. Patriarch, you must not believe this woman's nonsense. She clearly said that on purpose. As he said this, he looked anxiously at the middle-aged man. After feeling the other party's sharp aura, his heart slowly sank. Yun Luofeng, this damn brat. How dare she say such words in front of the patriarch? If she didn't have the patriarch's jade pendant in her hands, he would have already attacked this damned girl. Fourth elder, the middle-aged man's voice sank. You said that you want Xin heir to survive more than anyone else. The fourth elder quickly nodded and said solemnly, That's right. I want Ning Xin to recover more than anyone else. At this moment, the fourth elder was only concerned with clearing his suspicions, but he didn't notice at all that his words had completely angered the middle-aged man. Aren't parents and relatives the ones who want their daughter to survive the most? But the fourth elder had actually exaggerated it. How dare he say that he was the one who wished for Ning Xion's safety the most? Then what would he become? How could he not want his daughter to live as much as an outsider? Looking at the increasingly ugly expression on the middle-aged man's face, the fourth elder felt a little guilty. He didn't know what he had said wrong to cause the patriarch to be so angry. The middle-aged man glanced coldly at fourth elder, then turned his gaze to Yun Luofeng. After a moment of silence, he asked, Can you really cure Xin? To tell the truth, he was the same as fourth elder. He did not think that Yun Luofeng had this strength. However, Xin would definitely die if she wasn't treated. As such, he could only take the risk and trust her once. However, this did not mean that he could accept the Yun family's Yun Xingya as his son-in-law. Second uncle, Little White, let's go. Yun Luofeng did not answer the middle-aged man's words. He walked into the Ning family's main gate. In the Ning family, other than Elder Ning and Ning Xin, she did not have a good impression of anyone else. Chapter 452. In the boudoir, the fragrance was pleasant. The snow-white veil fluttered in the wind, and one could vaguely see a beautiful body on the bed through the veil. The young girl's face was pale as she lay silently on the bed. Her breathing was extremely weak, so weak that it seemed as if it would dissipate at any moment. Looking at the young girl's pale face, Yun Xingya's heart suddenly tightened. Her black eyes were filled with guilt. If it wasn't for him, Ning Xin wouldn't have been injured. Her condition isn't very serious. Perhaps feeling the guilt and worry in the man's heart, Yun Luofeng glanced at him and comforted him. Hearing Yun Luofeng's words, Yun Xingya's tightly clenched heart finally relaxed. From his point of view, if Yun Luofeng said that it was fine, it meant that Ning Xion's injuries could still be treated. Humph! The fourth elder snorted coldly as he glanced at Yun Luofeng with ridicule in his eyes. A hint of ridicule appeared on his aged face. I really don't know if you're pretending to understand. Lu Chen's palm had pierced a hole in Ning Xian's heart. If it wasn't for the fact that the medical pavilion had life-prolonging medicinal herbs that could extend her life for 10 days, Ning Xian might have died on that day. And all of this was caused by your Yun family. Whenever he thought about how Ning Xian had been seriously injured in order to save Yun Qingya, he gritted his teeth in hatred. This lowly girl, her son had pursued her for so many years, but she had remained unmoved. Yet, she had lost her life for a useless man like Yun Qingya. He really brought this upon himself and couldn't bear it. Yun Qingya did not say anything. This time, he had tacitly agreed with the fourth elder's words. Indeed, if it wasn't for saving him, how could Ning Xian have been seriously injured? He owed her a life, so he could only repay it with his life. Yun Luofeng coldly glanced at the fourth elder. If you say another word, I don't mind. From today onwards, you won't be able to open your mouth. The fourth elder was so angry that his entire body was trembling. He gritted his teeth and said, "You only dare to be so presumptuous because you have the old patriarch's jade tablet in your hands. If you didn't have the old patriarch to support you, what would you be? You'll find out soon enough. I need to treat Ning Xian now. I don't have time for you." Other than healing Ning Xian, she had also come here to avenge Yun Qingya. But Ning Xian couldn't drag things out any longer. She ignored fourth elder for now. "My master told you to shut up. Hurry up and shut up." Lin Ruobai glared at the fourth elder, who was about to continue speaking. "I've never seen such a stupid old man. Is there no one in the Ning family to discipline him?" From Little White's point of view, anyone whom Master did not like was not a good person, and her master obviously hated these people from the Ning family, including her second uncle's future father-in-law. Therefore, none of these people were good people. The fourth elder's expression grew increasingly ugly. He opened his mouth, but was interrupted by a voice next to him. "Fourth brother, forget it. That last Ning Xian doesn't look like she's going to make it out alive. We can only try our best and trust this once." The great elder shook his head helplessly and sighed softly. His pitiful gaze fell on a half-dead girl on the bed, and a hint of heartache appeared in his eyes. Even though Ning Xian was the young miss of the Ning family, she had never been arrogant. She treated others peacefully and was dignified and magnanimous. Therefore, they all doted on her from the bottom of their hearts. Chapter 453. He never thought that Ning Xian would suffer such a serious injury this time. And this was all the fault of those B***starred from the Medicine City. A murderous intent flashed across Elder Da's body. Even if Ning Xian manages to survive this time, he would never let the people from the Medicine City get away with it. They clearly knew that Ning Xian was in the Yun family home, and yet they still dared to attack the Yun family. They clearly have no regard for the Ning family. However, Elder Da has clearly wronged the Medicine City. If the Medicine City had known that Ning Xian was in the Yun family home, they would not have chosen to attack at that time. It was precisely because they thought that Ning Xian had left with Elder Ning that they had come to cause trouble. At least the Ning family has a sensible person. Lin Ruobai raised her chin, her adorable little face showing a hint of arrogance. She patted the great elder's shoulder and said in a lecturing tone, "Unlike some people who don't believe in my master's abilities. If my master wasn't powerful, do you think the old master of the Ning family would have given her the jade pendant?" The middle-aged man's face turned red. He had not believed in Yun Luofeng's abilities in the beginning, and had even been moved by her rudeness. However, if he had known that Master Ning's jade pendant was in her hands, he would never have acted so rudely. "Xiaobai, don't speak." Yun Luofeng berated, "I'm treating Ning Xian's illness. You can't disturb me. Do you understand?" "Oh." Lin Ruobai replied obediently and stood quietly by Yun Luofeng's side. She had taken out a stick of candied hawthorn from somewhere and was licking it adorably. The entire room became quiet. Even the fourth elder didn't dare to say a word. However, he stared at Yun Luofeng with a look of disdain. He clearly did not believe that this young girl had the ability to come back from the dead. What did you say? Deep in the mountains, the old man, who had been resting with his eyes closed, heard the youth's report and immediately opened his eyes. His elderly face was filled with anger. The Medicine City has the audacity to attack the Yun family while I was away? Are the Yun family members all right? Elder Ning, the Yun family is fine, but Lady Ning Xian was injured by Lu Chun in order to protect Yun Xingya. Her fate is unknown. Standing in front of Elder Ning was a doctor from the medical pavilion. He was ordered by Elder Rong to search for the whereabouts of Elder Ning. He was quite lucky to actually find Elder Ning, who was meditating in the depths of the mountain. Hearing this, a violent aura surged from Elder Ning's body, instantly destroying the surrounding trees. He rose angrily and asked with a livid face, "Where's Xer now?" A few days ago, he had sensed that he was on the verge of a breakthrough. In order to successfully break through, he had left Ning Xian at the Yun family and planned to find a quiet place to cultivate in seclusion. Who knew that so many things had happened in the past few days? Medical City. Luin. Good. Very good. If they dared to touch his granddaughter, he would make them regret it for the rest of their lives. The young man glanced cautiously at Elder Ning. Miss Fanya has temporarily saved Miss Ning Xian's life, but she only has 10 days. Elder Rong has also sent people to look for Miss Yun. It's said that only Miss Yun can save her. 10 days. Elder Ning's heart tightened. How many days are left now? Today is already the last day. What? Elder Ning's face instantly turned pale. What about the Yun girl? Has she returned yet? The young man nodded. Miss Yun returned to Long Yuan country a few days ago. Chapter 454. She's back? That's good. Elder Ning heaved a sigh of relief, his face no longer as ugly as before. With Yun girl's strength, as long as she returns, Xian will be fine. Hearing Elder Ning's relieved voice, the young man replied timidly. But, just before Miss Yun returned, the fourth elder of the Ning family brought people to Long Yuan country. Not only did he take Miss Ning Xian away, he also injured Miss Fanya and Yun Xingya of the Yun family. Boom! Elder Ning, who had calmed down, immediately became furious again. He smashed his fist on the ground, creating a fist-sized hole in the ground. This idiot! Is he trying to kill Xian? As long as Yun Luofeng returned, Ning Xian's injuries would not be a problem. But this idiot had forcefully taken Ning Xian away and injured Yun Xingya. This was clearly a deliberate attempt to harm Ning Xian. The young man shrunk his neck in fear. The usually calm Elder Ning actually had such a violent side to him. One could imagine the anger in his heart. This won't do. I have to go back immediately. Xian must be waiting for me to return home. Furthermore, I will strangle that idiot to death. At the end of his words, Elder Ning's aura became sorrowful. That sorrow was mixed with monstrous anger. If Xian died, whether it was the medical city or the fourth elder, he would not let a single one of them off. He would make these people accompany Xian in death. This, the young man glanced at Elder Ning, then quickly retracted his gaze. There's one more thing I haven't said. After Yun Luofeng found out that the Ning family had taken Lady Ning Xian away, he had already rushed to the Ning family with Yun Xingya. Furthermore, the forces near the Ning family also said that they saw Yun Luofeng enter the Ning family. On this day, Elder Ning experienced many ups and downs. First, he was furious when he found out about the medical city's actions, and then he was sad for his granddaughter's injuries. But when he heard that Yun Luofeng had returned to Long Yuan country, he couldn't help but relax. But then, when he heard that the Ning family had forcefully taken Ning Xian away before Yun Luofeng returned, his originally relieved heart immediately turned into despair. Finally, this kid told him that Yun Luofeng had already arrived at the Ning family. If it was anyone else, after experiencing so much despair and hope, they would probably collapse. Elder Ning, on the other hand, was in a daze as he looked at the young man in front of him. Elder Ning. The young man waved his hand in front of Elder Ning and asked guiltily, "Are you all right?" If he accidentally caused the old man to die from a heart attack, Elder Rong would never let him off. "I'm fine." Elder Ning snapped back to his senses and shook his head. He turned to look at the young man in front of him. Why didn't you tell me directly that my granddaughter is safe and sound? He only needed to tell him that his granddaughter had been injured by the beasts of the medical city and that Yun Luofeng had already rushed over to treat her. Why did he have to say so much nonsense? The young man rubbed his head. Elder Rong asked me to give you a complete report of everything. That's why I'm so detailed. Then why don't you say everything in one go? Elder Ning, the young man felt wronged. You're the one who didn't let me say everything in one go. Every time I was halfway through, you would interrupt me or use your aura to scare me. I understand. Elder Ning took a deep breath and suppressed the raging anger in his heart. He then said in a cold voice, when I had acknowledged Yun Luofeng as my granddaughter, I had given her the jade pendant that represented the Ning family's power. With this jade pendant in hand, the Ning family would not dare to hurt her. Now, I want to make a trip to the medical city to avenge my granddaughter. Since Yun Luofeng had rushed over to the Ning family, that meant that his granddaughter would not be in too much of a problem. He could then rest assured and settle the score. Chapter 455. The medical city was in a mess at this moment. The city governor of the medical city, Lin Gu, was so anxious that he paced back and forth in the great hall. Suddenly, a servant hurriedly walked in and clasped his fist respectfully, reporting to the city governor, Elder Ning of the Ning family has come to pay a visit. Hearing the servant's report, Lin Gu laughed bitterly. His handsome face carried a sense of helplessness. He still came in the end. Ever since he found out that Lu Yin had injured Ning Xin, he knew that the old man from the Ning family would come to settle the score with him sooner or later. And this old man was even more reasonable. Even if he brought out the Doctors' Association, it would be useless. Suddenly, a cold laugh rang out from the front of the courtyard. Soon after, an old man in green robes stepped into the courtyard. His indifferent and otherworldly features were curled into a mocking smile. You, the city governor of the medical city, are really a breeze. Even I have to concede defeat. However, the medical city did not keep its promise of 3 years and attacked the Yun family. I wonder if this news will cause the reputation of the medical city to be ruined? Lin Ji's expression changed. Elder Ning, this is a matter between me and the Yun family. Elder Ning scoffed coldly and said expressionlessly, I don't care who it is between you and... I only know that the Yun family's Yun Luofeng is my goddaughter and my own granddaughter was injured by your medical city. We should settle this debt no matter what. Hearing Elder Ning's cold voice, Lin Ji's face carried a bitter smile. Elder Ning, this matter is indeed the fault of our medical city's Lu Yin. However, I don't think there's anything wrong with me attacking the Yun family. It was the Yun family who did not keep their promise in the first place. Yun Qingya is actually still alive. Since the Yun family did not keep their promise, why does our medical city need to keep our promise for 3 years? At this point, a vicious glint flashed across Lin Ji's eyes. His precious son was the most outstanding in his heart. No one could compare to him. However, that damned brat Yun Qingya had dared to make a fool of his precious son in public. How could he tolerate this? Elder Ning's expression darkened bit by bit. On the dueling platform, there's a battle for victory and defeat. Your son's strength is inferior to others, so who can you blame for his defeat? Do you want Yun Qingya to stand still and let him hit you? With such behavior, what's the point of setting up an arena? Lin Gu laughed mockingly. Elder Ning, you won't understand how I feel. Yun Qingya's actions back then not only hurt my son's pride, they also made me extremely angry. He is the devil in my son's heart. If he doesn't die, my son won't be able to live happily. But you've already sent people to kill Yun Qingya, causing him to be unable to see the light of day for 10 years. Isn't that enough? Elder Ning's eyes darkened as he asked coldly. No, not enough. I want him dead. Only when he's dead can I let go of the hatred in my heart. Lin Ji's eyes were filled with viciousness, and his face was ferocious. Elder Ning shook his head. You're crazy, completely insane. Didn't Yun Qingya just defeat him in the arena? She didn't kill him or cripple him. I really don't know where your hatred comes from. I can't talk to a lunatic like you at all. I came here today to make you give me an explanation. Explanation? Lin Gu curled his lips. He no longer had the initial panic. His heart had also calmed down, and he calmly said, I don't know what you're talking about, but Ning Xian's injury wasn't the fault of our medical city in the first place. Who told her to rush out and block that move for Yun Qingya? If you want to find someone, go settle the score with the Yun family. If it wasn't for Yun Qingya, your granddaughter wouldn't have been injured. Chapter 456. Lin Gu did not understand why Ning Xian would fall for Yun Qingya. For him, she was willing to give up her life. If she did not love him to the extreme, she would not have done such a crazy thing. Elder Ning paused and said, I don't think there's anything wrong with Yun Qingya. In my opinion, that young man is very hardworking and does not bow to power. I admire his unyielding character. Besides, the people of the Yun family are not as bad as you say. That's right, they are indeed not strong. They are only a general of Long Yuan country. But after more than half a year of investigation, I have discovered that this family is worthy of admiration. In the beginning, Elder Ning investigated everything about the Yun family to understand Yun Luofeng better, who knew that during this investigation, he would be deeply impressed by these people's unyielding character. Hearing Elder Ning's words of praise, Lin Gu sneered. Unyielding character? Without strength, what's the use of having a body of unyielding character? No matter how much unyielding character Yun Qingya has, didn't he still not see the light of day for 10 years under the threat of my medical city? If I were him, I would rather commit suicide than live a life worse than death. I think he is clearly timid. Otherwise, he would not have dragged out an ignoble existence. You are wrong. Elder Ning stared at Lin Gu calmly. Yun Qingya did not commit suicide because he could not bear to let Yun Luofeng lose his eldest son. If he really did commit suicide, because of this, perhaps I would not admire him so much. It is because he endured for 10 years for the sake of his family that I admire this young man so much. As if seeing Lin Ji's increasingly ugly expression, Elder Ning continued, As for the rest of the Yun family, that old man Yun Luofeng is foolishly loyal to the emperor, but he is a hot-blooded man. That year, the enemy country's king took a liking to his daughter-in-law, Bai Ling, and even used a battle to force him to hand over his daughter-in-law. In this country where men are supreme, he ordered his son to fight without hesitation and did not need his daughter-in-law to ensure his safety. I do not know much about that young man Yin Yang, but to be able to command millions of soldiers in Long Yuan country and to go through fire and water with so many soldiers, he must be a heroic hero. Elder Ning's tone was filled with admiration towards these people from the Yun family. A smile appeared on his aged face. However, within the Yun family, the person that I admire the most is none other than Yun Luofeng. That girl is a legendary existence. She has too many secrets that cannot be divulged. It was as if as long as she was there, any difficulty would be solved. You wouldn't understand this sort of feeling. It's like when I heard that she had gone to the Ning family, I knew that my granddaughter would be safe and sound. When Yun Luofeng was mentioned, Elder Ning's expression softened. However, her gaze towards Lin Gu was still filled with a sharp light. Lin Gu raised the corner of his lips mockingly, his eyes filled with disdain. You actually hold the general's mansion in such high regard. On this mainland, the fist is king. If the Yin family isn't strong enough, they're destined to be trampled under my feet. Elder Ning did not expect this fellow to be so stubborn. His expression could not help but turn cold. Lin Gu, believe me, that girl Yun Luofeng is not someone who will stay in a small pond. One day, she will transform into a dragon. In the future, you might have to rely on her to live. This girl was not only gifted, but her medical skills were also superb. Perhaps it would not be long before she would transform into a golden dragon and soar into the sky. Chapter 457. No, Elder Ning seemed to have thought of something and shook his head. I forgot. You probably won't be able to wait until then. What a pity. Not everyone had the qualifications to witness her growth. In particular, what Lin Gu had done had exceeded the limits of what she could tolerate. Even if he didn't come to settle the score with him now, the girl wouldn't let him go. Elder Ning, you've really been brainwashed. Lin Ji's face carried the same ridicule as ever, as if he didn't take the old man's words to heart. What can a general's granddaughter accomplish? Don't exaggerate. As long as Yin Qingya is still alive, the Yin family must be destroyed. A sinister look flashed across Lin Ji's eyes. He gritted his teeth and said fiercely, "Fine." Elder Ning's eyes darkened, and he said coldly, "Then I won't discuss the Yin family with you today. Now, get that old fellow Lu Yin out here. I want to settle the score with him." It wasn't that Elder Ning didn't want to destroy the medical city, but that the medical city should be left for the Yin family to deal with. After all, the Yin family and the medical city had a deep hatred. Only by killing one's enemy with one's own hands could one feel this kind of hatred. If it was him, he wouldn't want to use other people's hands to deal with his enemies. Instead, he wanted to rely on his own efforts to fight against his enemies. Therefore, he didn't come here to cause trouble for the medical city. He just wanted to vent his anger on that old fellow Lu Yin. Elder Ning, Lin Ji's expression changed. Don't go too far. Lu Yin is indeed at fault in this matter, but he accidentally injured your granddaughter. If your granddaughter hadn't rushed out to protect Yin Qingya, how could she have been injured? Humph. I don't care who my granddaughter was injured to protect. I only know that the person who injured her was Lu Yin. Get him to come out and see me immediately. Elder Ning was no longer as indifferent as he was at the beginning. His old face was filled with coldness. Lin Gu, don't forget, my daughter is the disciple of an elder of the Doctors Association. Aren't you afraid of being condemned by the Doctors Association for doing this? Lin Ji's eyes grew colder and colder. Even though he knew that it was useless to bring up the Doctors Association now, if he really handed Lu Yin over, he was afraid that from now on, his medical city would lose all face. This was something he did not want to happen. Your daughter? Is she your adopted daughter? Elder Ning's lips curled into a mocking smile. Whether it's my biological daughter or my adopted daughter, I raised her. She is also wholeheartedly loyal to my medical city. If you do this, it will be equivalent to becoming enemies with the Doctors Association. Lin Gu threatened in a low voice, but his gaze towards Elder Ning was full of solemnity. If Elder Ning suddenly flipped out, he didn't know if he would be able to withstand his strength. But no matter what, he wouldn't compromise. Haha, don't count on the Doctors Association. It was your medical city's fault in the first place. I'll avenge my granddaughter. I like to see who dares to say no. Elder Ning's green robe fluttered in the wind. His entire body was overflowing with a domineering aura. His eyes were filled with confidence and arrogance. He was only seeking revenge for his granddaughter. Even the Doctors Association had no right to stop him. City Lord. Just as Lin Ji's expression darkened, Lu Yin's cold voice rang out from outside the hall. After the voice fell, an old man in a gray robe slowly walked into the hall from outside. His cold eyes turned to look at Elder Ning, who was standing quietly in the hall. Chapter 458. Since Elder Ning has come here to find me, then let me settle this matter. Even though he was looking at Elder Ning, his words were directed at Lin Gu. Lin Gu frowned. All right, Elder Lu Yin, I'll leave this old man to you. Yes, master. Lu Yin cupped his fists and turned his arrogant gaze towards Elder Ning. The corners of his lips curled into a mocking smile. Elder Ning, I know that you're stronger than me. That's why you dared to come to my medical city. However, I don't think I've done anything wrong. If there's anything wrong, it's your Ning family's fault for not being strict with your daughter. You've run off to a man's house at such a young age. Impudent. Boom. The aura from Elder Ning's body gushed out violently. His white hair danced in the wind, and his eyes were filled with the flames of anger. It was as if he had the power to destroy everything. You're courting death. He stretched out his hand and picked Lu Yin up. The veins on his forehead bulged, and he no longer had his previous indifferent and elegant demeanor. His granddaughter was his bottom line. He would not allow anyone to insult her. What? Are you angry from embarrassment? Am I not speaking the truth? Your granddaughter, a virgin, ran off to the Yun family to have an affair with a wild man. If they hadn't been innocent, Ning Xian wouldn't have been injured in order to protect Yun Qingya. The smile on Lu Yin's lips grew even wider. He was not afraid of the old man in front of him at all. Bang! Elder Ning smashed Lu Yin's body fiercely onto the ground. His fist was wrapped in a layer of sharp aura as it landed with a loud bang. In an instant, the surrounding tables and chairs were lifted by his aura and sent flying in the air. Lu Yin, who was lying on the ground, vomited a mouthful of blood. The mocking smile on his pale face did not diminish. Instead, it increased. Elder Ning, even if you kill me, I will still say the same thing. Everything that happened today was because your Ning family was not strict enough. The medical city is not in the wrong. In other words, Ning Xian had been injured by the medical city, but she was the one in the wrong. On the contrary, what the medical city had done was right. Who told Ning Xian to seek death by rushing forward to block that palm for Yun Qingya? Bang! Old man Ning's fist descended once again, slamming into Lu Chen's face. In that instant, Lu Yin's face swelled up like a pig's head as blood continuously flowed out from his mouth. Let me tell you, Yun Qingya is my Ning family's son-in-law. What's wrong with my granddaughter living in her fiancé's house? Yun Qingya had a good character and a proud character. He believed that his granddaughter would not suffer any grievances if she followed him. Moreover, the Yun family still had a monstrous existence like Yun Luofeng. He believed that in time, it would be too late for others to curry favor with the Yun family. Lu Yin chuckled softly. His smile had a hint of success to it. His treacherous eyes flashed as he fearlessly faced the crazy old man in front of him. So, the Ning family has fallen to such an extent. They actually dare to let the young miss of the Ning family marry Yun Qingya. After hearing Lu Yin's words, Elder Ning, who was already filled with killing intent, gradually restrained the killing intent in his body. The fist that was flying towards Lu Yin also stopped in midair. I regret it. Elder Ning's expression gradually returned to normal. His indifferent eyes quietly stared at the old man lying on the ground. Originally, I wanted to come here to kill you, but now I regret it. Chapter 459. Lu Yin laughed icily and turned his head away, not even sparing Elder Ning a glance. Because Elder Ning raised his eyelids and slowly shifted his gaze away from Lu Yin. He then spoke in an indifferent tone. Letting you die now would be letting you off too lightly. Since you look down on the Yun family so much, I'll let you see with your dog eyes how they'll climb over the heads of the medicine city. In the beginning, Elder Ning had indeed come with the intention of killing Lu Yin. But now, he had shown mercy. His aim was to let those who looked down on the Yun family sink into the abyss of despair. Ha ha ha. Lu Yin laughed maniacally. His elderly face was covered in blood, and he looked exceptionally ferocious. Climb over the heads of the medicine city? Elder Ning, don't you think too highly of those people? Let me tell you, even if the Yun family exhausted their entire lives, they would never be able to surpass the medicine city. So what if the Yun family has a genius like Yun Luofeng? A genius is just a genius. After all, there are countless geniuses on this mainland who die prematurely. Elder Ning narrowed his eyes, and a cold light flashed across his elderly eyes. Lu Yin, I hope that you won't regret your words today in the future. He then turned towards Lin Gu and spoke coldly. Even though I don't intend to kill Lu Yin now, the medicine city still needs to pay the price for your actions. I've heard that there are countless precious medicinal herbs in the medicine city, especially a blood ginseng, which has already lived for 1,000 years. Lin Ji's eyes darkened. What do you mean by that? What I mean is very simple. I want the blood ginseng from the medicine city. Elder Ning regained his calm and tranquil expression as he spoke indifferently. No way. This blood ginseng is an exhibit that I intend to display at the doctor's conference in 3 years' time. I can't give it to you. If you don't hand over the blood ginseng, I won't be leaving this place today. Elder Ning sat down by himself and poured himself a cup of tea. The corners of his lips curled into a faint smile. Little Yun had run all over the place for the sake of his granddaughter. She had even rushed all the way from Long Yuan country to the Ning family. As her god-grandfather, it would be inexcusable if he did not prepare a gift for her. Since this little girl was a doctor, she should be more interested in medicinal herbs. How could he not take advantage of this opportunity to reap some benefits? Elder Ning, you're not a doctor. Why do you need medicinal herbs? Lin Ge fiercely gritted his teeth. He knew that this old man was not kind, but he did not expect that he would have designs on the blood ginseng. What was the blood ginseng? It was said that as long as she still had a breath in her body, a piece of blood ginseng in her mouth could prolong her life by a few days. Not only doctors can have things like blood ginseng. Lin Ge, it's up to you. Do you want to stay here or hand over the blood ginseng? My temper hasn't been very good these days. When I'm bored, I like to kill a few people for fun. Elder Ning said calmly. He gently tasted the tea in his hand and said expressionlessly. His meaning was very clear. If Lin Ge did not hand over the 1,000-year blood ginseng, he would definitely stay in the Ning family for the night. Every day, he would kill a few people from the Ning family for fun. Even if the Ning family had a lot of people, they couldn't withstand the old man's brutal behavior when he was itching for a fight. Elder Ning, you were angry at Luin, and he was beaten up by you. What else do you want? Lin Ge gritted his teeth and asked angrily. Elder Ning glanced at him. I want a blood ginseng. If you don't give it to me, I won't leave. This old man was very strong-willed. He did not want anything else but that stalk of 1,000-year blood ginseng. Chapter 460. Good, very good. Lin Ge was so angry that he laughed. He gritted his teeth and said, Elder Ning, don't regret what you've done today. Someone bring me the blood ginseng. Regret? Elder Ning smiled faintly. The medical city would be the one to regret in the future. Not long after, a servant girl dragged the blood ginseng onto a tray and walked into the hall. When the red cloth covering the tray was lifted, a blood-red ginseng appeared before everyone's eyes. The ginseng was bright red, and the smell of blood rushed towards them. However, it did not make them feel nauseous. Instead, it made the blood in their bodies churn. That's right, this is the blood ginseng. Elder Ning's eyes were full of smiles. At least you didn't use anything else to brush me off. I'll accept this blood ginseng without hesitation. Ha! After saying this, Elder Ning raised his hand and kept the blood ginseng. Send the guest off. Lin Ji's face was ashen as he coldly ordered. He did not want to look at this old man anymore. Otherwise, he was afraid that he would not be able to control his temper and fall out with this old man on the spot. Of course, they could be considered to have fallen out now. All right. Elder Ning had just taken a few steps when he seemed to remember something and paused. Your medical city is rich in resources and should have a lot of medicinal herbs. I'm interested in going to the medical city's medicine storehouse. Old thing, don't go too far. Lin Ge clenched his fists tightly. He had tolerated this old man over and over again, but he did not expect him to be this shameless. Facing the gloomy Lin Ge, Elder Ning smiled faintly. If you had taken the initiative to bring me to the medicine storehouse, I might have stopped. However, you actually treated me with such an attitude. This won't do. I must go to the medicine storehouse this time. Lin Ge was so angry that his entire body was trembling. He could not even say a word. If looks could kill, Elder Ning would have been killed by him a few hundred times. Master, let's not get angry with this kind of person. Luin walked to Lin Ji's side with his body covered in wounds. There was a hint of gloom in his eyes. This old man has already fallen into my trap. Because Elder Ning had already gone far away in search of the medicinal storehouse, Luin dared to say such words. If Elder Ning was here, he would not say another word no matter what. Lin Ge frowned. What do you mean? Luin laughed sinisterly. Elder Ning flew into a rage out of humiliation and said that Yun Qingya was his grandson-in-law. This way, even if he calmed down later on, he would still marry Ning Xian to Yun Qingya for the sake of face. This way, the power of the Ning family would end in Ning Xian's hands. Ning Xian was the only daughter of the Ning family. Even though her talent was outstanding, she still found a powerless man like Yun Qingya. Otherwise, if Ning Xian were to marry an outstanding man, It would be too late for the medical city to take revenge. But the Ning family has Elder Ning, this old thing. We still can't do anything about it. Lin Ji's brows knitted tighter and tighter, his face clearly carrying a hint of helplessness. Patriarch, do you think Elder Ning's illness can be cured? Lu Yin glanced at Lin Gu. Back then, countless famous doctors treated Elder Ning and said that it was impossible for him to recover. But now, he actually claims that his illness has been cured by Yin Luofeng. Do you believe this? I think that Elder Ning thinks that his time is coming to an end. In order to prevent others from having any ideas about the Ning family, he deliberately said such words. Chapter 461. The Ning family was only stronger than Elder Ning. Without Elder Ning, the Ning family would not be able to stir up any waves. Lin Gu sighed. Back then, although Yin Qingya did not die, he could only be a piece of trash. However, now that he has appeared in front of the eyes of the world, perhaps that Yin Luofeng really does have some ability, Lu Yin scoffed. At the beginning, his thoughts were completely the same as Lin Ji's, but after he left Long Yuan, he secretly investigated Yin Luofeng's deeds. This girl obviously didn't have anyone as her master, so how could she have such brilliant medical skills? Could it be that she could teach herself? Was this possible? As for Yin Luofeng restoring the male characteristics of a eunuch in the palace, perhaps, she had some precious medicinal herbs in her hands. He had heard of a medicinal herb that could regenerate broken bones, but did not prove her ability. City Lord, more than 10 years ago, we heavily injured Yin Qingya, but who knows if he really became a cripple. Perhaps his injuries have long since recovered, and he has only been hiding his strength for the past 10 years. Hearing Lu Yin's analysis, Lin Gun nodded in agreement. What you said makes sense. We have never seen Yin Luofeng's true abilities, so how do we know that she has extremely high medical skills? Perhaps she is just fooling the world. The corner of Lu Yin's lips curled up into a mocking smile. City Lord, Elder Ning definitely won't be able to live for long, and before that, let's not make a move against the Yun family. Otherwise, that old man will definitely come out to stop us. As long as he dies, whether it's the Yun family or the Ning family, we can destroy them with a flip of our hands. Elder Lu Yin, you're right. Thinking of the humiliation he had suffered today, Lin Ji's eyes were filled with killing intent. Oh right, how is the young city lord? Lu Chun was slightly startled and fell silent. After a long while, he replied, the young city lord heard that Yun Qingya is still alive and is currently in a rage. He won't listen to us no matter how hard we try to persuade him. Sigh. Lin Gu sighed helplessly, his expression softening. Go and tell him that father will definitely avenge him. That brat Yun Qingya, he won't be able to live for long. In the Ning family's boudoir, a young girl was lying on the bed with her eyes closed. Her pale face was dazzling under the sun. Yin Luofeng slowly stood up and turned his head to look at the people behind him. Today is the last day. I've already helped her recover. Now, I'll let my second uncle stay here to accompany her. All of you come with me. I still have some matters to settle with you. No. The fourth elder's expression changed. Yin Qingya, this brat, has ulterior motives towards the eldest miss. How can we let him stay behind alone? I disagree. As soon as he finished speaking, a chilly gaze shot towards him, causing his throat to instantly tighten. He opened his mouth, but no words came out. What I want to settle is the debt with you. The corners of a young girl's lips curled up slightly. Her black eyes were filled with a dangerous light as she gradually approached the fourth elder. So, leave this place with me immediately. The fourth elder's eyes darkened. Just as he was about to say something, he was interrupted by the young girl beside him. Yin Luofeng turned his gaze towards the middle-aged man and smiled lazily. If you don't mind me disturbing Ning Xine's rest here, then I'm willing to settle the score in my room. But you have to think carefully the consequences of disturbing her rest. It's very serious. Chapter 462. The middle-aged man turned and looked at Ning Xine, who was lying on the bed. After a moment of silence, he looked at Yin Luofeng again. All right, let's talk outside. Master. Fourth elder's expression became even uglier. He stared at Yin Luophone with a gloomy gaze. Girl, don't go too far. You are only an earth spirit. You are no match for me. Since you know who I am, don't tell me. You don't know that what I like to do the most is to bully others? Yin Luophing's lips curled into a smile. His pitch-black eyes were filled with an evil smile. Her smile was like that of a demon, forcing people step by step into the abyss of despair. Huh. Fourth Elder seemed to have heard a funny joke and couldn't help but laugh. Bully others? Yin Luophone. Even if you have the old master's jade pendant, at the end of the day, you are still an outsider. You dare to bully others in the Ning family? Didn't your grandfather teach you any rules? His eyes were full of disdain, as if he didn't care about the young girl in front of him at all. At this moment, an old hand suddenly reached out from the side and grabbed his clothes tightly. Then, the old man walked out of the door with large strides. Fourth Elder was stunned. He swept an angry gaze at the elder next to him and said darkly, First Elder, what are you doing? Hearing this, the First Elder swept an indifferent gaze at Fourth Elder and said lightly, Ning Exen needs to rest. If there's anything, let's talk outside. As soon as he said that one word, his body was thrown to the ground by the head elder. With a bang, a muffled sound rang out. Then, an endless amount of anger spewed out from his chest, as if he wanted to burn the head elder into ashes. Lady Yun. The middle-aged man furrowed his brows slightly as his gaze shifted from Fourth Elder to the peerless beauty next to him. His tone no longer held the sense of superiority he had at the beginning. I wonder what mistake Fourth Elder has committed? Why are you treating him like this? These words, he was still considered polite, but Yin Luophone still heard the man's questioning tone. After all, the Fourth Elder was an elder of the Ning family. No matter what he did wrong, it was not up to an outsider to criticize him. Thinking up to here, the evil smile on Yin Luophing's face became extremely sinister. The second reason I came here is to avenge my second uncle. The middle-aged man was stunned for a moment and frowned in confusion. Just now at the door, the Fourth Elder's tone towards Yun Xingya was indeed a little unfriendly. I can ask him to apologize to Yun Xingya, but it's just a verbal dispute. There's no need to be so ruthless, right? With regards to the actions of the Fourth Elder in Long Yuan country, the man did not know about it. He thought that it was just a verbal dispute. Hence, he said such words. Yin Luophone glanced at the middle-aged man beside her. Her gaze was as cold as a knife, as if it could cut into the hearts of others, making them tremble incomparably. In order to snatch Ning Exen away, he beat up my second uncle. Shouldn't I settle this debt? Are you telling the truth? The middle-aged man's expression instantly darkened. He had never expected that such a thing would happen when he had asked the Fourth Elder to bring Ning Exen home. This time, the Fourth Elder was really too muddle-headed. Whether it's true or not, you just need to ask him. Furthermore, this matter happened in the medical pavilion, and there are people from the medical pavilion who can testify. Chapter 463. Hearing the two words medical pavilion, the middle-aged man chose to believe Yin Luophing's words. His sharp eyes swept coldly towards the Fourth Elder and said in a deep voice, Fourth Elder, you really have guts. I've already warned you to be more polite to the people of the Yun family, but you actually injured the Yun family's Yun Xingya. When the old man returns, I want to see how you will explain this to him. The Fourth Elder coldly snorted. That Yun Xingya harbored ill intentions and wanted to seduce Ning Exen. Furthermore, if it wasn't for him, Ning Exen wouldn't have been injured. I'm just angry. Pa! Without waiting for the Fourth Elder to finish speaking, the middle-aged man slapped him hard, causing him to feel dizzy and see stars. You still dare to shirk. The Yun family is someone that the old man admires. If you do this, where will the old man be? As for Exener's marriage, I will make the decision. It's not your turn to worry about it. Furthermore, Exener only protected Yun Xingya because the old man admired the Yun family. It's not some kind of seduction that you mentioned. The man's words caused Yin Luophone to frown. He glanced at him coldly before retracting his gaze. Although the Ning family's patriarch was trying to absolve Yun Xingya, he had already explained one thing. Ning Exen would not marry Yun Xingya. Even though Yun Luofeng had displayed extraordinary medical skills, she did not have the ability to compare to the Yun family. Thus, it was no wonder that the Ning family's patriarch was unwilling to hand Ning Xin over to the Yun family. Unless she joined the Doctors' Association, with the Doctors' Association as her backing, the world could only curry favor with her. But was that possible? It was impossible for her to join any power. She would only rely on her own strength to support the Yun family. But, Patriarch, I'm still an elder of the Ning family. This girl is so bold as to come to the Ning family to settle scores with me. Isn't that the same as slapping the Ning family's face? The fourth elder glared fiercely at Yun Luofeng. No matter how big a mistake he had made, as long as he did not threaten the Ning family would not punish him. That was why he had the courage to say such words to the middle-aged man. Yun Luofeng glanced at fourth elder evilly. The corners of her lips gradually curled up into a smile. Her smile was cold, like a gust of cold wind blowing across her face. In my opinion, what your Ning family has done is a real slap in the face. She leaned against a big tree and said with a faint smile, now that I have Elder Ning's jade pendant in my hand, no one in the Ning family dares to disobey my orders. Ha ha! The fourth elder laughed crazily a few times. Yun Luofeng, you're dreaming too much. You want to deal with me with just that jade pendant? Unless Elder Ning returns personally, the clan head doesn't have the right to send me away. Really? Yun Luofeng raised her eyebrows. She smiled evilly at the other elders of the Ning family and said, now, as Elder Ning, I order all of you to beat him to death. Yun Luofeng. I've said it before, the fourth elder wanted to continue mocking her, but at this moment, he suddenly realized that the great elder and the others were walking towards him. What do you want? His eyes showed a trace of terror, and his body subconsciously moved back a few steps. Fourth elder, we have no other choice. This girl is holding the old master's jade pendant, which is equivalent to representing the old master himself. We have no choice but to obey her orders. Otherwise, we would be disloyal to the old master. Chapter 464. The great elder shook his head helplessly. Although he said so, he was trying hard to suppress his laughter in his heart. All these years, fourth brother had been using the fact that his son was second only to Ning Xin among the younger generation of the Ning family, and that he might even become Ning Xion's fiancé. Thus, he began to act like a tyrant. Even if he was ranked fourth among the elders, his prestige was even greater than his, the boss. He had tolerated him for a long time. Now that there was such an opportunity, how could he let it go? The other elders also did the same. They had already had enough. If it wasn't for the fact that they were worried that fourth brother's son would become the future head of the Ning family, they wouldn't have tolerated him so much. After all, Ning Xin was the only daughter in the third generation of the Ning family. Whoever married her would be the future head of the Ning family. Yun Luofeng. The fourth elder roared angrily at Yun Luofeng. How dare you use my Ning family's people to deal with me? Fight me one-on-one if you have the guts. Yun Luofeng curled the corners of her lips and leaned lazily against the tree. She had a smile on her face as if she was watching a good show. I've said it before. What I love the most is to bully others. What can you do to me? Everyone in the Long Yuan nation knew that Yun Luofeng, the eldest daughter of the general's mansion, was a hedonistic young master who loved to bully others. Now, she was merely displaying her hedonistic side, so why couldn't she? Yun Luofeng, you actually don't dare to compete with me fairly, you trash. Under this intense anger, the fourth elder could no longer choose his words. He even blurted out the word trash. This time, before Yun Luofeng could retort, Lin Ruobai's cute voice came from the side. Tisk TSK, you're really shameless. You still dare to say that you want to have a fair duel with my master? Why don't you take a look at how old you are? You've only reached the heavenly spirit realm with half your body in the grave, yet you dare to say that my master, who broke through to the earth's spirit realm at the age of 15, is trash? What was so great about the Ning family that they dared to humiliate her master like this? One day, she would ask her father to avenge her master. No one had the right to speak ill of Master. Little White, here. Master, what are your orders? Lin Ruabai was startled when he heard Yun Luofeng's words. He respectfully waited for Yun Luofeng's instructions. Her eyes shone with boundless light, as resplendent as the stars. Could it be that Master had been provoked by this old man and planned to personally teach him a lesson? This was simply fantastic. She believed that even if her master was only an earth spiritualist, he would still be able to defeat the fourth elder, who was a heavenly spiritualist. I'm tired. Who knew that after Lin Ruabai waited for a long time, all he got was this indifferent reply from Yun Luofeng. Lin Ruabai's little face immediately fell. She pursed her lips and obediently ran into the hall. She brought a chair over and placed it behind Yun Luofeng. After Yun Luofeng sat down, Lin Ruabai arrogantly walked behind her and giggled. Master, do you need disciple to massage your shoulders and legs? All right. Yun Luofeng sat lazily on a wooden chair. The corners of his lips curled into a smile as he stared at the fourth elder, who was surrounded and attacked by the crowd. Fourth elder, I'm sorry. Who asked you to disobey the master's orders and commit such a grave mistake? This time, no one can protect you. The great elder had already walked in front of the fourth elder. He then gave a look to the elders beside him. In an instant, the aura of the elders spread out and surrounded the fourth elder. Chapter 465. Eldest brother, second brother, third brother, don't bang. Elder Da's fist came crashing down and landed squarely on Elder Four's chest. He endured the pain in his chest and instantly leapt up from the ground, desperately trying to fight back. Unfortunately, he was outnumbered, and after a few blows, he was beaten to the ground, unable to move. His eyes were filled with hatred as he glared angrily at Yun Luofeng. If looks could kill, Yun Luofeng would have been hacked into 1,000 pieces and died without a complete corpse. Yun Luofeng, your heart is evil and you will never have a good death. His voice was like a curse, circling around everyone's hearts. However, in the face of his malicious words, Yun Luofeng only raised the corners of her lips and replied in a languid voice. It seems that everyone who is lost to me will say this before they die. But I won't let you die too early. At this moment, the young girl was leaning lazily against the back of her chair, her peerlessly beautiful face carrying her usual evil smile. She was like a high and mighty queen, arrogant and domineering. Her pitch-black eyes were filled with disdain for the world. Just one look from her made him feel as if needles were stabbing his back, and his entire body trembled. Uffed. Elder Da spat out a mouthful of blood, and his entire body collapsed. He tried to open his swollen eyes, but no matter how hard he tried, his vision was still a blur. In this blurry vision, he could only see the young girl's fluttering white robes thud. Elder Four's body finally collapsed with a muffled thud. His robes were tattered beyond recognition, and bright red blood slowly flowed from the corner of his mouth. Lock him up first. When Ning Xian wakes up, I'll ask second uncle to punish him. Now that Ning Xian has yet to awaken, second uncle probably has no other intentions but to accompany Ning Xian. The person that Elder Four had injured was second uncle. Second uncle must personally deal with this matter. Master, please have some tea. Lin Ruabai poured a cup of tea out of nowhere and presented it to Yun Luofeng as if she was offering a gift. Her adorable little face lit up with a brilliant smile. Where did you get this tea from? Yun Luofeng picked up the cup of tea and took a sip. After tasting the tea, she couldn't help but frown. Lin Ruabai blinked. I found it in one of the compartments, but I have to say that these tea leaves were really well hidden. They were actually hidden in the wall compartment. If it wasn't for my keen sense of smell, I wouldn't have been able to find these tea leaves. After this little girl had massaged Yun Luofeng's legs for a while, she had noticed that her master hadn't drunk water for a long time and was probably thirsty. Taking advantage of the fact that no one was paying attention, she had turned the Ning family's house upside down. Then, she accidentally discovered the lattice on the wall. The tea leaves were hidden so tightly that they must be of the highest quality. Thus, she hurriedly took the tea leaves and offered them to her master. In Little White's eyes, All good things should be given to her master. The Ning family actually dared to hide something. Where did you say you found the tea leaves? The middle-aged man's expression suddenly changed, and there was a hint of panic in his eyes. Master, is there something wrong with his ears? I already said that I found it in the lattice in the wall of the study, and he actually asked me where the tea leaves came from. Lin Roabai pursed his lips and said, "Thump." The middle-aged man staggered and almost fell to the ground. It's over. His private stash had been found by this little girl, just like that. One must know that he and his father both loved tea. No matter what quality tea he had obtained, it had all been taken away by that old man. So this time, he had chosen to hide the tea leaves. Chapter 466. But he never thought that it would still be dug out. The middle-aged man felt the urge to cry. If this little girl was not Yin Luofeng's disciple, he would have rushed forward and strangled her to death. The quality of this tea is not good enough. Yin Luofeng handed the teacup to Lin Robai. Take it away. The middle-aged man's lips twitched violently. This woman dared to say that the quality of his precious private collection was not good enough. Does she even know how to taste tea? Yes, master. Lin Roabai stuck out her tongue cutely. This is the best tea I've found in the Ning family. The others are even worse. It looks like the Ning family is really poor to only have tea of this quality. I'll give Elder Ning some good tea some other day. Yin Luofeng said carelessly. On this mainland, Elder Ning was one of the few people who treated her sincerely. Hence, she would not be stingy with this old man. So, the next time she sees Elder Ning, she will give him some spiritual tea. The middle-aged man snorted disdainfully at Yin Luofeng's words. He did not think that Yin Luofeng would be able to produce better tea than him, not to mention satisfying that picky father of hers. However, for the sake of his pride, her father would certainly accept her tea. Great Elder. The middle-aged man turned to look at Great Elder and said, "Take fourth Elder away and wait for my father's return to deal with him." Yun Luofeng curled the corners of her lips. She had said that she would continue to punish fourth Elder when Ning Xian wakes up. But in the middle-aged man's mouth, it had become Elder Ning's return. Unfortunately, whether Elder Ning returned or not would not be able to decide her thoughts. Fourth Elder must die. Yes, master. Great Elder joined his fists and waved his hand, ordering coldly, "Guards, lock him up and watch him closely. Do not allow him to escape." "Yes, your majesty." In the great hall, the middle-aged man was in the middle of a discussion with Great Elder when an angry voice sounded from outside the door. "Get out of the way. All of you, get out of the way. I want to see the master. What has my father done wrong for the Ning family to treat him like this?" "It's Ning Yuan." Great Elder heard the familiar voice from outside the door and frowned as he spoke in a low voice. "Let him in." The middle-aged man sighed and said helplessly. Not long after, a handsome young man quickly walked into the lobby. His words were filled with questions as he stared at the two people in front of him. "Patriarch, you must give me an explanation. You took advantage of the fact that the old patriarch was not home to treat my father like this. My father has been loyal to the Ning family for so many years in vain." Family head Ning frowned slightly. "Ning Yuan, this is your father's fault. I can't do anything about it. I asked him to bring Ning Xian back, but he hurt her. Now that they are here, what can I do?" "Patriarch, this is the Ning family. Who dares to disobey your orders?" Ning Yuan trembled with anger and gnashed his teeth. "Ning Yuan," Master Ning's expression was a little displeased. "That girl is Xian Er's savior. Furthermore, she has the old master's jade pendant in her hands. She has absolute authority in the Ning family." Regarding Ning Yuan, family head Ning had admired him before this. Even though Ning Yuan was arrogant and despotic, his talent was outstanding and his feelings for Ning Xian were sincere. Most importantly, he had never been a womanizer in all these years. At most, he had gotten into a fight with someone. Chapter 467. He believed that if Ning Xian followed him, he would never let her suffer any grievances. However, it wasn't until he saw Yun Luofeng that he realized what a true genius was. It was a pity that the Yun family was too weak. Otherwise, he would really want to marry Ning Xin to Yun Qingya. It was precisely because the Yun family did not have absolute power that he gave up on this idea. Her daughter must have a strong backing. Ning Yuan's father was an elder of the Ning family and was also a heavenly spirit realm expert. Therefore, Ning Yuan had the qualifications to marry Ning Xin. But that was only in the past. Now that Ning Yuan's father had done such a thing, the old man would definitely not allow Ning Xin to marry him again. Therefore, he could only choose a good son-in-law for Ning Xin. Patriarch, what is that Yin family? How could they have the old patriarch's jade pendant? She must have used some method to steal it from the old man's hands. As for that Yun Qingya, she has ill intentions towards Ning Xin. I beg the patriarch to expel these people from the Ning family. Steal? The Ning family head's face darkened. Ning Yuan, what do you think the old man is? Even though that girl Yin Luofeng is a genius, she doesn't have the ability to steal from the old man's hands. If he really let her have her way, wouldn't the old man lose all his face? All right, you don't need to say anything more. Leave immediately, or else I will deal with you and your father together. Ning Yuan's body trembled. He glared fiercely at the Ning family head, turned around, and walked out. The moment he turned around, a stream of tears flowed down from his eyes. He couldn't help but clench his fists tightly. Ning Xin. Now, whenever he thought of this name, his heart would ache. It was so painful that he couldn't extricate himself. He really didn't understand why he had done so much for Ning Xin and protected her for so many years, but she had never put him in her eyes. Instead, his heart had been hooked by that bastard Yun Qingya. No, he would never let anyone take Ning Xin away. Never. Ning Yuan's eyes gradually became firm. In order to get Ning Xin, he could do anything. Bang! Ning Yuan, who was thinking about something, did not see the cute figure in front of him at all. The two of them collided, and he took 2 steps back. Who is so blind that he dares to bump into me? Ning Yuan was furious. His eyes were filled with a cold light as he looked at the person in front of him. It was a cute young girl with fair and tender skin that exuded a luster. One couldn't help but want to go up and give her a kiss. Her eyes were like stars, pure and bright. A glint of surprise flashed across Ning Yuan's eyes. It was rare to see such an adorable young girl. Unfortunately, he already had Ning Xin in his heart. Other than Ning Xin, he would not want any other woman. Who are you? Lin Ruobai rubbed his aching forehead, a hint of anger clearly visible on his face. Humph! I should be the one asking you that. Who let this yellow-haired little girl into my Ning family? Hurry up and throw her out. If it was in the past, Ning Yuan wouldn't bother with a woman. But today he was in a bad mood and didn't like anyone. But this stupid woman just had to bump into him. Wasn't she looking for death? Bang! Lin Ruobai kicked Ning Yuan's crotch. Immediately, a shrill voice spread throughout the entire Ning family's courtyard. As Ning Yuan wasn't at the Ning family's residence and had just rushed back, he didn't know Lin Ruobai, nor did he know that this little girl was in cahoots with Yin Luofeng. Damn girl, you actually dare to kick me. Ning Yuan's face twisted as he said sinisterly, if I die without descendants, I will definitely cripple you. Chapter 468. Ever since he was young, no one had dared to treat him like this. He would remember this debt. I'm going to kick you. Lin Ruobai placed her hands on her hips and raised her head high. Also, remember, I didn't sneak in. I fought my way in with my master. Master? Ning Yuan was startled. Your master is... Lin Ruobai snorted. My master is Yin Luofeng. Yin Luofeng. These 3 words were like a heavy blow to Ning Yuan's heart, causing his face to contort even further. He roared furiously. So you're Yin Luofeng's disciple. I'm going to kill you and avenge my father's death. After saying this, Ning Yuan's body was like a bolt of lightning as he quickly pounced towards Lin Ruobai. Lin Ruobai was obviously startled and hurriedly dodged to the side. Was this fellow crazy? He actually wanted to fight with his life? And he just said that he wanted to avenge his father? Suddenly, Lin Ruobai reacted and his little face turned cold. You're the son of the Ning family's 4th elder? Great, I was just looking for you. and you've delivered yourself to my doorstep. Milk Tea, bite him. Squeak, squeak. Milk Tea came out of nowhere and bit Ning Yuan's shoulder. Its teeth were still sharp and pierced deeply into his skin. Ning Yuan screamed and grabbed the little hamster on his shoulder. He wanted to crush the little hamster into a meat patty. However, the moment he swung his hand down, he clearly saw the little hamster's disdain. Damn it! Even a gold-seeking mouse dared to look down on him now. Since that was the case, he would let this gold-seeking mouse see his strength. Bang! Ning Yuan's palm slammed down, and his shoulder instantly turned ashen. When he removed his palm, he suddenly realized that the little hamster had disappeared. Squeak, squeak. A cry suddenly came from the front, as if it was mocking him. Ning Yuan's expression became even more furious as he turned his gaze forward hatefully. At that moment, Milk Tea was lying comfortably on a fallen leaf on the ground. Her little paw pointed towards Ning Yuan, and she called out to Lin Ruobai, who was beside her. Understood. Lin Ruobai understood what Milk Tea was trying to say. He immediately shouted and kicked Ning Yuan. Brat, I'll let you have a taste of my little white flying kick. Ning Yuan was stunned and quickly retreated. However, Little White's speed was too fast. Before Ning Yuan could escape, her foot fiercely kicked the youth's face. With a thump, Ning Yuan's body was sent flying. The footprint on his face was so clear that it confirmed the painful scene the young man had just suffered. Who asked you to snatch my master's second uncle's woman? Lin Ruobai's body flew up and landed on Ning Yuan's body. He arrogantly raised his little head. Let's see if you still dare to dream about master's aunt in the future. Pressed by her, Ning Yuan spat out a mouthful of blood, clenched his teeth tightly, and forced out a few words. You are so King heavy. It would have been fine if Ning Yuan hadn't said this, but the moment he said this, Lin Ruobai was completely enraged. She punched Ning Yuan's face fiercely with her pink fist, and her cute little face looked hideous. How dare you insult me? I'm only 40 kilograms. When she said the last sentence, Lin Ruobai felt a little guilty. In order to cover up her guilty conscience, she punched Ning Yuan again. Chapter 469. Ning Yuan grabbed the soil under his body tightly. Even his nails were covered in mud. At this moment, he only felt that his body was about to be flattened, and his red and swollen cheeks were hurting. Damn girl, stop it right now. He shouted angrily. I'm a member of the Ning family, and my grandfather is an elder of the Ning family. The Ning family will not let you off for treating me like this. TSK. Even your grandfather was defeated by my master. Who do you think you are? Lin Ruobai's face blossomed into a bright smile. Her smile was like that of a demon, causing Ning Yuan's heart to tremble. Damn girl, just you wait. One day, I will hang you and your master up and beat you up. Ning Yuan's face was already beyond recognition from Lin Ruobai's slap. His body trembled nonstop, and even his speech became unclear. Kid, don't you think you are very powerful? You can even beat me. How powerful can you be? Let me tell you, my master is much more powerful than me. Do you think you are worthy of beating my master up? Dong! Lin Ruobai's small fist once again greeted Ning Yuan's face. After this punch landed, Ning Yuan became dizzy and saw stars. Then, a small hand grabbed his clothes tightly and lifted him up from the ground. Come with me to see my master. In the room, Yin Luofeng sat upright on the bed with her eyes closed. After a long time, she opened her eyes and let out a breath of impure air. Back then, when I saved Whitey, the spiritual force I absorbed increased my strength to the peak of intermediate Earth Spiritualist, and I was only a step away from advanced Earth Spiritualist. I didn't think that I would come into contact with the opportunity to break through after coming to the Ning clan. I finally advanced. Master, you can take the holy water now. With it, you will be able to advance to a celestial spirit immediately. Little Mo's childish voice came from within her soul. The holy water she was talking about was the one she had extorted from Xiao Bai's father in the spirit region. Not only could the holy water help an earth spirit break through, but the quality of one's body would also be strengthened after taking it. The reason why Yun Luofeng did not consume the holy water before was because he was waiting for her to break through to the high-level earth spirit. With the help of the holy water, he became a celestial spirit warrior in one go. All right, Yun Luofeng nodded slightly. Just as he was about to take out the holy water, the door was kicked open with a bang. In an instant, Lin Ruabai entered the room with a youth in tow and threw him in front of Yun Luofeng. Master, this fellow is the fourth elder's son. Lin Ruabai walked towards Yun Luofeng as if he was asking for credit. His arrogant eyes glanced at the badly battered youth on the ground, and he snorted coldly. However, this brat's luck is bad. He actually ran into me. Let's see if he still dares to be so arrogant in the future. Lin Ruabai's little face was a little angry at the thought of what the young man had just said. When she walked past Ning Yuan, she didn't forget to kick him twice. Ahem. Ning Yuan coughed dryly and raised his head to stare angrily at Yun Luofeng. If it wasn't for Yun Qingya's appearance, Ning Xian would have already married me. It was your Yun family who stole my wife. I will definitely be irreconcilable with you. Hearing the youth's words, Yun Luofeng stood up from the bed and looked down at him with his pitch-black eyes. Chapter 470. Are you sure? Without my second uncle's appearance, Ning Xian would have chosen to marry you? The young girl's words were like a wooden thorn that ruthlessly pierced into his heart. In an instant, a large hole appeared in his heart. Blood flowed out, and he was in so much pain that he could not extricate himself. She was right. Even if Yun Qingya did not appear, Ning Xian would not like him. Otherwise, why would they be snatched away by Yun Qingya who had just appeared after so many years of being childhood sweethearts? However, even if Ning Yuan knew this, he still did not want this wound to be torn open by someone in such a manner. Haha. He sneered, and the corners of his lips curled up into a mocking smile. So what if Exeter doesn't like me? As long as the patriarch gives the order, she must marry even if she doesn't want to. Do you think the patriarch will choose to marry your Yin family? No, you're wrong. Even if you save Exeter's life, the patriarch will not marry her to you. The difference between the patriarch and the old patriarch was that the old patriarch paid too much attention to personal relationships, while the patriarch focused on the overall situation. If the Ning family had other children, perhaps he wouldn't care who Ning Xian chose as her husband. However, the Ning family only had this one sole child. For the sake of the entire Ning family, he would never allow Ning Xian to marry Yun Qingya. The Yin family was simply too weak. They didn't even have a heavenly spirit realm cultivator. Not to mention a marriage alliance with the Ning family. They didn't even have the qualifications to gain a foothold on the continent. Yun Luofeng, you can't blame our Ning family for this. It's just that your strength is too weak. Ha ha ha. Ning Yuan burst into laughter at the sight of the young girl, narrowing her eyes. I admit that you're very talented. Unfortunately, you're not at the level of a celestial spirit practitioner. There are too many powerful cultivators on this mainland. If you're not at the level of a celestial spirit practitioner, any organization can kill you. Your Yun family doesn't even have a heavenly spirit realm cultivator. Do you think the patriarch will hand Ning Xian over to you? Ning Yuan's face gradually turned sinister, his voice filled with hatred. Yun Luofeng narrowed his eyes and swept them over Ning Yuan. As long as Ning Xian is willing to leave with me, no one can stop her. In other words, if Ning Xian was willing to leave with her, then she would definitely take her away. No one would be able to stop her. Arrogant. Ning Yuan scoffed coldly, and a mocking look appeared in his eyes. Yun Luofeng, I know that the old master is protecting you, but he also has someone he admires. The person he worships is godly Dr. Tianya. Speaking of this name, the sarcasm in Ning Yuan's eyes gradually dissipated and was replaced by reverence. Then, under Yun Luofeng's half-smiling gaze, he continued, This time, when I was traveling, I met a young man. He is from the Tian clan, and his name is Tian Lin. We hit it off the moment we met and became sworn brothers. I even told him about Ning Xian and I. He admires Ning Xian. This time, we heard that Ning Xian was injured, so I rushed back to the Ning family first. However, You'll be here soon. He even promised me that he would let Dr. Tianya treat Ning Xin. If I managed to invite the divine Dr. Tianya over, the Ning clan would look up to me even more. Furthermore, if I managed to cure Ning Xion's illness, Ning Xion might even fall in love with me. I never thought that you damn girl, would beat me to it. Ning Yuan said hatefully, but that doesn't matter. Wait for my brother to arrive. He will definitely help me and Ning Xion. Moreover, the old master admires Dr. Tianya so much. If the godly doctor is willing to speak up for me, do you think that the old master will still protect you? Chapter 471. Yin Luofeng glanced at Ning Yuan, and his lips curled into a smile. The Tian family? It seems that no matter where I go, I will meet people from the Tian family. Milk Tea, look after him. Don't let him escape before Ning Xion wakes up. Squeak, squeak. Milk Tea nodded with all her might. Milk Tea would always complete the task given to her by her master meticulously. Xiaobai, come with me. I want to meet the Ning family head and discuss Ning Xion's matter. Yin Luofeng narrowed his eyes slightly. At this time, Ning Xion was about to wake up. It was time for her to settle the matter with the Ning family. Patriarch, patriarch. In the study filled with the fragrance of books, Patriarch Ning was flipping through the books in his hands. Suddenly, a hurried voice came from outside the door. Without waiting for him to respond, the person broke through the door and entered. What happened? Why are you so flustered? Did something happen to the family again? Patriarch Ning frowned and asked sternly. Patriarch, it's like this. People from the Tian family have come to visit and say that they want to see you. The servant wiped the cold sweat off his forehead and reported with a trembling voice. Tian family? You mean the Tian family where Tianya is? Patriarch Ning was stunned for a moment, and a hint of joy flashed through his eyes. Did they say why they are here? The servant carefully glanced at Patriarch Ning. It's young Master Tian Lin from the Tian family. He has come to propose marriage. Propose marriage? Patriarch Ning was stunned for a moment and frowned. The object of the proposal is Miss Ning Xn. What? As the servant's words fell, Patriarch Ning was completely shocked. He really could not think of a time when Ning Xion had a conflict with the Tian family. If it was in the past, Patriarch Ning would probably accept it happily. But now, because Yin Luofeng was here, he had no choice but to think. To be honest, Patriarch Ning had never thought of marrying Ning Xion to Yun Qingya. However, Ning Xion's illness was cured by Yin Luofeng after all. If he married Ning Xion at this time, he was afraid that he would never be able to face Yin Luofeng again. This is not going to be easy. Patriarch Ning rubbed his temples with a headache. If Yin Luofeng wasn't here, it would be fine, but she is still in the Ning family. I don't know how to ask. Patriarch. The servant timidly looked towards Patriarch Ning. This subordinate doesn't know if he should say something. Feel free to speak your mind. It's like this. Patriarch, you don't need to feel embarrassed about marrying off the young miss, and you don't need to feel ashamed in front of the Yun family. In this matter, the Ning family has never done anything wrong. Even if Yin Luofeng cured the young miss, so what? Without the Yun family, First Miss would not have been injured. This servant's words made Master Ning feel a little better. He nodded in agreement. Not bad. Your analysis is very good. What is your name? Go to the butler later to receive your reward. Thank you, Patriarch. The servant was overjoyed and hurriedly knelt down to express his gratitude. His expression became even more respectful. Let's go. I will go and meet the Tian family. The corner of Ning family head's lips curled up into a smile. He was right. Ning Xion was injured in order to save Yun Qingya. Shouldn't it be natural for Yin Luofeng to save her now? There was no need for him to feel any guilt towards the Yun family. Who told the Yun family to not even have a heavenly spirit realm cultivator? At this time, in the hall, a few guards were carrying the betrothal box and standing respectfully. On the seats beside them, there were two young men and women quietly sipping tea. Chapter 472. If Yin Luofeng was here, he would recognize the woman sitting next to him. She was Tian Ku, the woman who had gone to the Long Yuan country's royal family in an attempt to take Mu Wushuang away. The man beside her was no longer the calm and steady Tianyu, but someone else. But this person's eyebrows were somewhat similar to hers. At this moment, they saw a middle-aged man walking in from outside the hall. He slowly stood up from his chair. Master Ning. Tianku's lips curled into a smile. This time, I'm here for my brother, Tianlin. I heard that the eldest young lady of the Ning family, Ning Xen, is extremely talented, beautiful, and dignified. She has a gentle temperament, making it difficult for the other ladies. So, ever since my brother heard of Ning Xen's reputation, he has set his heart on her. This time, I'm here to form a marriage alliance with the Ning family. From now on, our Tian and Ning family will be one family. Haha. Master Ning laughed heartily and turned his kind eyes to Tianlin. I've also heard of young Master Tianlin, the second strongest in the younger generation of the Tian family. It's Xin heir's honor to have found such a husband. I approve of this marriage. I don't agree. Just as Master Ning finished speaking, an angry voice came from outside the door. After hearing this voice, Master Ning's expression changed and a hint of surprise appeared on his face. His eyes turned to the door. Suddenly, a young girl holding the door frame appeared in front of him. At the same time, Tianlin's gaze fell on the young girl standing at the door. His eyes were filled with infatuation. Even though the young girl's face was pale, it couldn't hide her beautiful face. Even when she frowned, it was like a finger was tugging at the string in his heart. Ever since Ning Yuan had first mentioned Ning Xin, he couldn't help but fall in love with her. In order to show off, Ning Yuan had even taken out Ning Xin's portrait. From then on, his heart had been tied to this young girl. So, when he heard that Ning Yuan was going back to the Ning family, he let him go first while he returned to the Tian family to prepare the betrothal gifts. Xin heir. Master Ning strode forward and hurriedly supported the young girl. His eyes were filled with joy. You're awake? That's great. You're finally all right. You've scared me to death. Let me go. Ning Xin pushed the man in front of her away from her. Her clear eyes were filled with disappointment. Father, does grandfather know that you're treating me like this? Originally, when she woke up, she found that there was no one beside her. Then, she called for a servant girl and found out that Yun Luofeng had saved her life. Yun Xingya had accompanied her for many days without rest. However, Yun Xingya had just gone out to pee, so she woke up and did not see the man. However, just as she was about to wait for Yun Xingya to return, she heard the discussion of a maid outside the door, claiming that someone from the Tian family had come to escort the bride. Because of this, she had hurriedly come alone to reject this marriage. Xin heir, I'm doing this for your own good. Clan head Ning frowned. The Tian family has Tianya. If you were to marry someone from the Tian family, it would be the same as having blood relations with Tianya. If your grandfather were to know about this, he wouldn't stop this marriage. What do you mean for my own good? You're doing this for the Ning family. Ning Xin clenched her fists tightly. Her pale face was filled with stubbornness. If it was grandfather, she would let me choose my own happiness. She would never force me to marry someone I don't love. If it weren't for your indecisiveness back then, how could mother have been killed? Chapter 473. Slap. A crisp sound rang out in the hall. The entire hall fell into an eerie silence because of the sound of the slap. It was so quiet that a suffocating atmosphere filled the hall. Excellent. Master Ning looked at his hand and then at the blushing Ning Xin. His eyes were filled with vexation and heartache. Father, just now, am I wrong? The corners of Ning Xin's lips curl up into a mocking smile. Her disheveled hair falls to the side of her face, covering the bright red handprint. It was because of your indecisiveness that caused mother to be killed by another woman. So what if you disband your own family in the end? My mother's life can no longer be saved. You keep saying that you're doing this for my own good, but unfortunately, you've never understood what I really want. Could it be that after so many years, you still haven't come to your senses? Patriarch Ning opened his mouth and wanted to explain, but his throat seemed to be squeezed by a hand, and he couldn't make a sound. Then, he clutched his head tightly and said in agony, That's right, I was indeed too indecisive that year and cause your mother's death. But I've been sad for so many years. Isn't that enough? All these years, I haven't married because of you and your mother. I've done so much, and you're still not willing to forgive me for what I've done? He felt a heart-wrenching pain at the thought of what had happened all those years ago. But no matter how heartbroken he was, the woman he loved could never return to his side. You've always been thinking about the family, but you've never thought about my mother and me. What we want has never been absolute power or supreme status. I just want to live like an ordinary person. Ning Xian closed her eyes in disappointment and smiled bitterly. Unfortunately, you only know how to do things that I can't tolerate in the name of doing what's best for me. All these years, grandfather and I have been running all over the place because we didn't want to see you. Even living in seclusion in the mountains is better than facing people like you. When she said the last sentence, she suddenly opened her eyes. Her bright eyes were filled with determination, causing family head Ning's heart to suddenly tremble. That's right. I'm indeed thinking for the sake of the clan. Is that wrong? Clan head Ning smiled bitterly. Who asked me to be the clan head? I will fight for the Ning family. Plus, your grandfather has always worshipped godly Dr. Tianya. If he knew that you wanted to marry into the Tian family, he wouldn't reject. Ning Xian sneered and shot a cold glare at Tian Lin, who was staring at her in a daze. I told you, I won't marry anyone else. Even if I die, I will never let the Tian family get my corpse. You, Master Ning pointed a finger at Ning Xian angrily. Xian, you're really too immature. Let me tell you, today you must marry someone from the Tian family. As the head of the Ning family, even if he was reluctant to part with his daughter, he had to fight for more benefits for the family. This was the sorrow of being a family head, just like how he had caused the death of his beloved woman. Ning Xian's lips curled into a smile, and her eyes filled with disdain. She took one last look at Master Ning before she turned around and walked towards the door. At this moment, her heart was filled with disappointment. Don't go. Seeing that Ning Xian was about to leave, Tian Lin's expression changed, and he hurriedly said, Hurry and stop her. Chapter 474. Yes, young master. The members of the Tian clan answered one after another, and quickly rushed towards Ning Xian, wanting to stop her from leaving. Scram! Ning Xian shouted loudly. Suddenly, a burst of spiritual energy erupted from her body, forcing the guards who had extended their hands towards her to take a few steps back. Seeing Ning Xian attack the members of the Tian clan, the Ning family head turned pale with fright. Just as he was about to reprimand her, he saw the young girl's body fall towards the ground. Xian, Master Ning no longer cared about reprimanding Ning Xian and hurriedly stepped forward to pull Ning Xian back. However, just as he was about to step forward, a hand reached out to catch the young girl's body and pulled her into a tight embrace. The man's black hair fluttered in the wind, and his crescent robe fluttered slightly. His handsome face was cold as he stared coldly at the Ning family head in front of him. Big Brother Yun. Ning Xian was startled. Her eyes quietly stared at the elegant man beside her, and her voice unconsciously choked with sobs. Facing her father's aggressiveness, she did not feel wronged, but now that she saw Yun Qingya, all of her grievances surged into her heart. She could not help but tightly grab onto the corner of his clothes. Yun Qingya's gaze fell on the young girl's flushed cheeks. His slender fingers gently brushed past her hair as he said in a slightly helpless tone, "Why didn't you wait for me and ran out of the room by yourself?" Although his words were filled with reproach, it still could not hide the doting tone of the man's words. Suddenly, Ning Xian could no longer hold back her tears, and they flowed down her cheeks. "I'm sorry, Big Brother Yun. You have nothing to do with me. If it wasn't for you, I'm afraid the one who would be heavily injured in bed would be me." Yun Qingya smiled faintly. His smile was like a blooming green lotus, making people feel happy. Bang! After Tian Ke looked at the person who came with Yun Qingya, she suddenly stood up. Even the chair behind her was accidentally overturned by her. Her eyes were filled with anger. "It's you." Tian Ke gritted her teeth hatefully. "Yin Luo Feng, It really is a narrow road for enemies. I didn't expect to meet you here. Previously, you were pregnant with my good deed, yet you still dared to deliver it to me. Hearing Tian Ke's words, Clan Head Ning was a little surprised. Could it be that Yun Luofeng had some grudges with the Tian family? In that case, it would be even more difficult to deal with. Yun Luofeng glanced at Tian Ke evilly. I was the one who came to the Ning family first. According to what you said, you were the one who delivered yourself to my doorstep to be beaten up by me. Yin Luofeng. Last time, if it wasn't for the fact that Tianyu had an urgent matter to attend to and had to leave, do you think you could have escaped from us? In reality, the last time, Tianyu had pulled Tian Ke away in a hurry because she had felt threatened by Yun Xiao. However, under such circumstances, Tian Ke would never say such a thing. Hence, she came up with such an excuse. Since I can make you flee once, there will be a second time. Ning Xin is my future second aunt. I want to see who can take her away. As she spoke, the girl's domineering aura was fully displayed, and her eyes were filled with arrogance and arrogance. Ning Xin's originally nervous heart miraculously calmed down when she saw Yun Luofeng and Yun Xingya appear. Of these two people, one was her most trusted friend, and the other was the man she liked. She believed that as long as they were here, no matter what kind of difficulty it was, it would be easily solved. Miss Yun, Clan Head Ning frowned. A hint of worry could be seen in his eyes. The Tian family has Tianya behind them. It's better if you don't get into a dispute with them. Apologize, and I will plead for you to let the Tian family let you off.